This is a Miami Sports Music Podcast Network production. This is the #1 Miami fan morning show. Clock blockers, let's go.
I know the whole city riding. A little early, it's a bit surprising. Business moves, now we enterprising. Switch it up, now we improvising. Go to get in the winter column. Whole squad been trained to go. Fence for life, we throw the foe. Singing this just to welcome bro.
What up, baby?
Time to grind, time to shine.
Your boy is back.
To a time.
Dang, had technical difficulties this morning. Sorry about that. What's up? How y'all doing? It is your boy, Stephen D. This is Clock Blockers, the #1 Miami fan show. I can't even say morning show. Y'all right. Can't even say morning show no more. But I am here, and I'm happy to be hanging out with y'all on Spread Kindness Friday. Want to say good morning to my Finlaws and my family with a PH. I am your host, Stephen Daniels. You can follow me on all social media at Stephen D. SKPL. Spread kindness, positivity, and love. Want to shout out Miami Sports Music everywhere at MIA Sports Music, except on Twitter or X or whatever it is you kids want to call it now today, where it's called MIA Sports Music. You guys can do me a huge favor. Hit the like button on your way in. It helps. It helps the channel grow. Subscribe to the channel. All that fun stuff, man. All that fun stuff. Sign up to become a member today. There are plenty of seats waiting at the table for you. My wife. Good morning. I love you too, honey. My wife's in Cuba, so everybody say hello to my wife in Cuba. Yeah, she out there in Cuba. Cuba. So yeah, sign up today, become a member. And then help the channel grow by donating. You guys can donate. It helps. It goes such a long way into helping the channel grow. It goes a long way into helping me to be able to do this on a regular basis. And if I'm not able to, do what I need to do, I got to do other things. You guys can donate using Cash App or PayPal. The QR code you see on your screen there, MSM Podcast Network. Want to give a big shout out to sponsor of the shows, Tailgreeter. Download the app today on your current Crapple or Android devices. What's up? What's good? How y'all doing? I've missed a lot. I have missed a lot, and I miss y'all. Man, where do I begin? Washington, D.C. was great. The FedEx takeover was a massive success. Probably the most successful thing I've ever done. We had 500 people at the party the night before, and close to 500 at the tailgate. It was awesome. It was absolutely awesome to be able to do that. And, for me, there's definitely something there. And, we're going to be doing the Baltimore beatdown in December. So I hope you guys come out for that. Baltimore beatdown is going to be great. I even got access to some really good tickets. So if you're interested in tickets too, let me know. I only got a little bit, like 10 or 15 of them to be able to sell. But they're great seats. They're 16 rows from the field. So hit me up if you're interested. They are a little pricey, but if you want to go to the Baltimore game, let me know. Man, a lot has happened. Let me give a big shout out to a few people for making FedEx takeover great. Absolutely amazing. Want to give a big shout out to Ryan Keeling, first and foremost. Ryan is absolutely amazing. He helped me put on together this event. And as a matter of fact, he not just helps me, he's part of it. He's a big reason why I'm able to do these events. I couldn't do it without him. So shout out to Ryan Keeling. Brother, if you're listening, I love you. You're really great at what you do. And I'm glad to be doing this journey with you. Obviously, Solo D coming out, performing. DJ Sick Turtle absolutely amazing what he does. If you guys need a DJ and you live in the DMV area, hell, if you live anywhere, just hit up Sick Turtle. He's worth every penny that he charges. He's worth it. Sick Turtle is one of the best DJs I've ever seen, and he helps put on a great show. So shout out to DJ Sick Turtle. He makes your event better. He makes your event better. So shout out to him. Big shout out to the Admiral, the DC DolFAN bar over on DuPont Circle in Washington, DC. That was awesome. It was a lot of fun. And they were great. Gigi's the GM there. She was awesome. Just a lot of really, really cool people, man. And just it was amazing. It was amazing. So I am pretty stoked about that. Want to give big I want to give a big shout out to Jason Sarney. Jason came down from Philadelphia and man couldn't have completed the weekend without his help. He was so good, and you know, he helped out on Saturday night with us, and he helped out on Sunday at the tailgate, passing out wristbands and just checking people in and doing a million other things. Any little thing that we needed, he helped. He did. So shout out to him. And then I want to give a big shout out to Shannon Needham, Nick Needham's mom, and also co-founder of 4D Fam, which is a nonprofit organization started by Nick Needham and his mother for, you know, students or kids in the inner city. We raised over $500 for his charity, and we already sent it out. Got it. Needham, Shannon hit me up with a text saying, hey, absolutely amazing what you guys did. It was awesome. So we raised over $500 for her, or for Nick Needham's charity, which was awesome. And it was absolutely great. Corey Hutter says, so proud to be a Dolphins fan after the turnout we had at FedExville. We were loud and proud. I like it. I like it. What else? I'm trying to think of anything else before I get into like the stuff I really want to talk about. Yeah. Shout out to Nikki, Ryan's wife. Nikki's also a very important part and instrumental part in the success of these weekends. And we couldn't do it without her. So shout out to Ryan's wife, my good friend. He's all, you know, she's absolutely amazing. I love you, Nikki. You're the best. You put up with all my, you know what, with your husband. So you're awesome, Nikki. I think that's it. We're going to be doing Baltimore Beatdown. So if you guys want to go to tailgreeter.com, type in Baltimore Beatdown. You got to come to the tailgate. We're going to have the meet and greet the night before. RSVP on Tailgreeter for the meet and greet. It's free. Get your tailgate tickets. The tailgate's right next to the stadium. It's going to be dope as hell. Definitely want to do it. It's going to be good. It's going to be real good. Where have I been for the last few weeks? It takes a lot to put on these events in DC. I'm going to talk Dolphins football today. So I'm going to get to it. You got to bear with me this morning. There's a lot of things I want to address and get to before we get into all the Dolphins talk, because there's definitely a lot of stuff to talk about with the Dolphins, because right now we're the best team in the AFC. And how freaking awesome is that? Number one, baby. Number one. I've never been able to say that in December. I am loving every second of this right now. I am in the moment. I'm in the moment. So I'm awesome. No, there's a few things I need to get off my chest before I get into Dolphins talk. So just bear with me if you're here for the Dolphins talk, because I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Social media, oh my God, has been crazy in the Dolphins Twitter, Dolphins X, absolutely insane. You know, today's Spread Kindness Friday, right? And there's definitely some things I want to address, get off my chest. So there's a lot of people that look, here's another thing too, just in full transparency with you guys. I'm in current negotiations to possibly, and I can't say negotiations. I'm talking to a couple of other places about going to their platforms. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see. The last week I've had to do a lot of soul searching about what I want to do next, how I provide a income for my family on a daily basis, because unfortunately this is not cutting it on a week to week basis. But I am thinking about going to another platform if I can make everything work the way I need to be able to support my family, do what I want to do. And that's kind of where that's at. So I am thinking about it. I probably won't make a decision until the end of this football season unless I get an offer I can't refuse. For me, just because I'm gone doesn't mean I'm not looking and I'm not searching and I'm not seeing everybody's content on Twitter, on YouTube, on social media, because I am. I'm looking at everybody's stuff. I am looking at everybody's stuff. And I love everybody's stuff. I watch everybody from the Finn's Tailgate, who does amazing content, Dudley Durong, the Dolphins Twitter Spaces that Lewis and Batman and the crew always do, CB83, Miss Finn's, 305 Sports Babe. I watch everybody. A lot of the new YouTubers that are coming into the game. I don't want to forget about Finn's Talk Network or Dolphins Talk. That everybody does great content. And so I feel like there's two sides to Dolphins media. There's no middle. You're either very positive or you're very negative, and there's no in between. There's no in between. So yes, I'm going to talk and address the negative real quick. Today's Spread Kindness Friday. And there's two things I want to talk about. And I'm not talking about any situation or any person in particular. It has to do with how we need to start treating each other better, because there's two sides to every story and both sides have everything. And yes, I'm addressing certain issues that have happened within the media or within, the Dolphins media. And I think first things first is we all have something, right? We all have something. I ain't got no beef with nobody, Andrevius. I'm good. But I love everybody, and I want to see people. I want the best for people, right? And I want the best for people to get along. Look, I live in a fantasy world. I get it. I understand it. Steven, not everybody's going to like everybody. Steven, not everybody's going to get along with everybody. We're all not going to sing Kumbaya. I get it. I understand that. But man, we grown. I'm a cuss. So if you got kids, turn your radios down. I'm a cuss a little bit. We're grown ass men and women. We shouldn't. We're talking about football on a day in, day out basis. And by the way, this is the best this team has been in 20 plus years. And by the way, I watched TD as well. I saw Tyree in there. I do watch TD. I know I missed some people. I apologize if I forgot you and you were watching me. Man, look, for me, y'all need to realize this is what I do for fun as well as for a living, in certain parts and certain aspects of it. But I think most people come here to get away from the bullshit of their everyday life. And when you go somewhere to get away from the bullshit of everyday life, to get away from politics, to get away from your significant other, maybe, to get away from the drama that is your life, the last thing you want to deal with when you come here is drama, like real drama. We have fake drama. We got Wildin' Out Wednesdays. That's crazy. But we're not coming here for real drama to talk about the Dolphins. Are y'all kidding me? Stop it. We need to realize that the Dolphins are important in our lives. We love them, but they ain't paying your bills. They not they're not changing the way you go about your everyday life when you tuck in your kids at night or talk to your significant other or anything like that. Look, they definitely, change our moods sometimes when they lose. My wife always knows that life is better on Sunday afternoons when the Dolphins win. I get that. But we got to stop with this making shit personal. We got to stop with it. The world is not that big. It's not. It's not as big as we think it is. We have this inner group of people that we always want to hang out with and do and be with each other, right? Like, this is my group. This is my circle of friends. And yes, some of people in the circle do not like each other. And yes, there are a couple people within that circle that I'm not huge fans of either, any more than they're probably fans of me. But I respect them and I get it and I understand it. I made a lot of mistakes in my life. A lot of mistakes. And I've asked for forgiveness. And I didn't deserve it. But what we're not going to do, or what we shouldn't do as grown-ass men, is keep bringing up that shit after the person apologizes for it years later. Got to stop with that. That's elementary school rudimentary bullshit. If somebody did something wrong and apologized for that, to bring it up years later is stupid and childish, especially as grown men who have children. When we teach our children about forgiveness, oh, that person took your toy away, or that person hit you. Did they say you were sorry? Well, you have to forgive them. And then 5 minutes later, they're back in the same circle playing with each other. We need to learn from children, straight facts, because we teach our children to forgive, but we are not ready to forgive. I'm not asking you to forget. I'm not asking you to not remember what somebody might have screwed you over and done something to you, but forgive them. Or if you do, and if you don't want to forgive them, don't interact with them. But if you do forgive them, don't bring shit up 4 years later or 3 years later. And yes, I'm talking about some shit in particular that has nothing to do with me, but it has to do with friends and people that I respect. Both sides, right? Got to stop with it. If that's the world you want to live in, so be it. You feel free to turn off my channel, just like I feel free to turn off yours. But to keep bringing shit up years later, why? What's the point of it? Let me go back in your history, and we're going to go through every single detail that you've done wrong, and we're going to bring it up. And we're going to keep pounding you with that same mistake that you made. Stop. Just stop. It's stupid. It's stupid. And the other thing is we need to treat each other better. We do. We're better than that. This fan base is better than that. I wasn't planning on coming on today, but I learned so much shit in the last 2 days that I felt that I needed to come on Spread Kindness Friday and kind of break some shit down for y'all because we're grown ass men. We grown. We need to stop with the drama. Our football team is the best they've. The only drama we should have or debate we should have is about the Dolphins. And then even if you don't agree with somebody in their take, why take it personal? Don't take it personal. I've told my friends that, by the way, just to be fair, 100%. 100%. I'm not dropping no links this morning, by the way. I'm here to give my take on it, and if you want to listen, great. If you don't, so be it. I'm not dropping a link for this. I might drop a link later about the Dolphins, but I'm not dropping it for this. We could talk. You can talk to me after the show. You can hit me up. We can have a conversation about it. But I'm talking to everybody right now. I just want what's best for people. I think people can be their own enemy, own worst enemy too. Let me state that for an opinion. If you know what your pros and weaknesses are, so be it. So be it. And I know some people want to come up here and they want to make a joke about it, but we need to do better. We need to do better. We are grown people. If you don't like somebody, that's one thing. If that's how your personality is, after you got to tell that person, hey, look, this is me. Have a conversation with them behind closed doors. Hey, this is how I act when I'm on a panel or I'm on any public. This is how I act. This is what I do. But nothing personal. And I don't want to take it personal. But just know I'm going to act like this when I'm on a panel because this is who I am. Okay, we're going to keep it football related. So be it. And I've had discussions with everybody that I've needed to have discussions with. Let me just throw that out there too. Because I'm trying to read the chat and I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do both at the same time. But two wrongs don't make a right. And everybody has some culpability in this. Every single person. And the related parties that know what I'm talking about, know what I'm talking about. And know that I'm up here preaching. Just treat each other better, man. You never know what somebody's going through. And even if they're in the wrong, and they might be, by the way, there's no reason for you to go on their level. Turn it off. Don't deal with it. No reason to. Why? For you to get a couple of laughs from somebody? Or to feel better about yourself? I just think that we're better than that. And if you're not, maybe you're not, but I gotta think we are. We need to spread kindness, positivity, and love. And how we do that is by our actions. Yes. Do I do these tailgates? I love doing them. Yes, it's a lot of work. Yes, I was mentally exhausted from it. I'm mentally exhausted doing this show on a day in, day out basis. I need to change some things in my life. And I'm doing that. I'm in the process of doing that. But, and there is a but, there's always buts. We all have buts. Some of ours just stink worse than others. We need to be better about how we treat each other because that's what this is about. It's about loving your brother or your sister. It's about being kind. And it's about when somebody does do the wrong thing that we don't call them out on it and we have a conversation about it behind closed doors. And if they do it again, then I can understand maybe some calling out publicly. And what we shouldn't do is if we've had conversations and we've forgiven other parties to not bring that up again. There's no reason for that. We teach I'll say it again, we teach our children to forgive and keep it moving, but we as adults are not ready to do the same. I want you to think about that. Think about it. Forgive. You'll feel better. You will feel better in this world about yourself when you forgive and you love and you have that positivity. Now, look, when it comes, and by the way, that's not for everybody. I get that. And if that ain't for you, so be it. You're probably not who I'm talking to then. Because if you're not willing to listen to the words that I'm trying to tell you, then you're part of the problem in this world to begin with. And I'm just being fair with you. I'm not saying I'm right about everything. But what I do know that I am right about is about being kind. We just need to be more kinder to each other. Even when the other person's in the wrong, we just need to be kinder to each other. I like that, Pam. Stephen D, the issue is with some people have trouble with empathy. You have to think about other people before yourself, and that is difficult for some people. 100%, Pamela. You hit the nail on the head. Empathy. Having empathy for others is something that will do you so great and amazing. It'll change your life having empathy. You want to be confrontational about everything. That's why I'm not trying to fire it up. It's not that I'm scared. I want to have a conversation with you, but I want to have a conversation with you behind closed doors. And it's more of, yes, it doesn't really have anything to do with me per se, but I care about certain people that were involved in some of that. And so I want to figure out if there's a resolution, and maybe there's not. Maybe there isn't. But ain't nobody scared. I ain't scared. I just know what I want today on my show, and it's not that. I just want to address it in my way, and I'll be more than happy to have a conversation with it behind closed doors. If you can't respect that, so be it. Last thing I want to say to it before I go on. If you're witnessing it and you see it and you don't try to put a stop to it, you're just as culpable as the person doing it. That's the other thing I want to say. Doing this show for 3 years has been one of the toughest and funnest things I've had to do, but it's tough on some days. It's tough some days to do the show, especially on a Wild and Out Wednesday when I'm dealing with multiple different personalities and multiple different, people and everything. EMC, you didn't even listen to me. That's why I'm not bringing you on. You didn't even say, "Okay, I got you. I respect you." You straight ignored, like I've responded to some of your inquiries within the chat. I'm asking you to respect mine. That's all I'm doing. And it's not any one person in particular. That's the other thing. Yes, there is. Here's the other thing too. What prompted this is not one situation. It was getting a phone call last night about something totally unrelated to what I think most of you think it is about, and seeing about, whoa, that person's dealing with drama too, which is so unlike that. And I'm not going to put that person's business out there. But if that person is dealing with drama and we know what the other issue is and we know what the other problem is, there's something, those two don't correlate. And they're totally two different things. They just happen to be part of the same community. Two different people, two different problems, two different scenarios. But they all kind of deal with drama and just division and hatefulness too. Let's stop spreading hate, man. But if you're witnessing it, that's what I wanted to finish up with. If you're witnessing it, if you're witnessing bullying or problems or anything, and you're not willing to put a stop to it, I think you're just as culpable. You know how we put a stop to stuff like that and we deter things? We point it out when we see it and say, "Hey, hold up. There's no need for this. There's no need for it. If y'all have a problem with each other, have it behind closed doors. Don't have it on a public platform." Why are we doing it on a public platform for? Especially when the problems and the original issues were behind closed doors to begin with. So now we're going to start airing dirty laundry. We can air people's dirty laundry if we want to. It ain't gonna work out well for some of y'all, but that's not what we're here for. And some of y'all want me to put names on it or address it. No, that I disagree with that logic. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I just disagree with that logic. And EM, yes, it has been. 100% has been. 100%. I've had the same conversation with other people, the people that you're probably referring to. I get that not everybody's going to like everybody. And I get that I'm not naive to think that the drama is not going to end within the community. I get it. I understand it. But that's where I'm at with it. That's where I'm at with it. I want to talk Dolphins football. But there is the reason I came up here today is for that. So here's what we're going to do, because there's about 90 plus people watching. We are going to do I can't do a thing because for some reason YouTube's messing with me. Here's what we're going to do. We're either going to put in the chat debate or Dolphins talk or Dolphins chat. And whatever the majority is how I'll proceed to move forward. If debate is it, we're going to address the issue. And I'll bring some people on one at a time and I'll have a conversation with them. I'm not going to bring 20 people on at one time. But if we want to talk Dolphins football, which is why we're all here, because the boys is 9-3 and we about to go to the Super Bowl, because that's where I'm at, then I'll do that too. But I'll do the majority because, again, this is a show made for fans by the fans. So put it in the chat, debate or Dolphins, debate or Dolphins. The majority will rule. Lewis, you can only vote once. Stop it. Stop it, Lewis. Killing me, Lewis. Stop it. Lewis, I see you. Cut it out. I'm going to ground you, Lewis. You're going to get grounded. Vonjo, you too. Look at you two. You're the only two. Nobody else is saying it. Debate, 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 debate. Transparency. How about both? There's so much to say about Dolphins football. Debate, debate. Dolphins chat. Debate. And by the way, these debates that I'm seeing are a lot coming from Vonjo. Stephen Poll. I can't pull it, Marino's GOAT. Like, there's something going on with YouTube for me. Like, I'm only able to use StreamYard for some reason. So. Content, please. Debate Fins. Can we address Brian Flores some more this morning? I think people have to get stuff out to the public. Let's laugh about how the Bills lost out the bye week. No doubt, bro. My last donation to Miami Sports Music. Why is it your last? I didn't say I was going anywhere. I hope it's not your last. All the best to your new life move, my friend. Never forget, it's all about the logo. It's always about the logo. All day, every day. Thank you for the donation, Cap. I hope it's not your last one. We on a effing bye week. Let's talk about shit to talk about. All right. Screw it. I guess we're doing debate because that's what the majority of y'all want. So I guess that's where the show's headed this morning. It's not where I wanted it to go, but y'all are the fans. So there we go. And by the way, I'm not officially going anywhere. I'm staying within the Dolphins community. All right. I can't paste it to the top, but the StreamYard link is what you need, and I just put it in the chat. Good morning, Pam. How are you? You're on mute, Pam.
Good morning, Stephen. I'm good. I'm good. I'm not sure what's going on here, but one thing I can drama. Yeah, lots of drama. Yeah, life is too short for all that.
I agree.
You know, the Dolphins are doing so good this season. We have so much to be happy about.
I agree.
And you know, being kind to each other, that's not that hard. It's not that hard. And if people disagree, I think it is hard for them. I think it is, but maybe there's underlying issues we don't know about. You know, people are a product of their upbringing, you know, and their life experience, and we don't know what everybody's going through.
Yeah,
but
I agree. 100%. We never know what somebody's going through. And we don't know their, you know, I've had this conversation with people behind closed doors that I think a lot of problems persist from personality conflicts more than anything. It's not even personal. It just becomes that way because people's personalities just don't rub right with one another. That's all.
Oh, you know? I agree 100%. But what I think people need to understand is it's okay, you know, to not be besties with everybody. Well, and you can still show respect, right?
I probably need to learn that more than everybody because I want everybody to respect and love one another. And that's just, unfortunately, that's just not how the world works. But I can dream that dream if I want to, Pam. Okay.
You can dream it. You can dream it. But if you have to have expectations that can actually be reached. You know, I think my son is like you. I think my younger son is like you in that he thinks everyone is his friend. And it's taken some things to happen for him to realize, no.
Not everybody's your friend. Yeah.
Right.
And hey, look, he does sound like me because that's how I think. That's how I like when somebody doesn't like me, I take a little bit of personal offense to it. Like, what did I do? Like, where did I go wrong? What?
No, I think you do more than that. I think you do more than that. You go not after them in that you try and, you know, fix it and try to make them be your friend, make them like you. And you just got to realize that just ain't how the world is.
And look, I've had to learn that through, look, you know, being with Solo for 10 plus years, Solo's tried to teach me that. My wife has tried to teach me that. And, but I always kind of come back to that other way because I feel as though there's just way too much negativity and drama within the world. And there needs to be more kindness and love. Hence SKPL, you know? So,
right.
And by the way, I'm not perfect either, right? Like I've definitely offended and pissed off people within this community before.
Sure.
But I like to believe that I have addressed it the correct way and went to that person and look, there's some people that I still just don't agree with or like how they handle things, but I can't change that, right? I can't control them. So,
well, one thing that you can do, this is a piece of advice that I give people that will listen to me, because I'm not everybody's cup of tea either. And that's okay.
I'm going to let you finish this thought, and then I'm going to go to the next person, but I just wanted to make sure you get everything out that you wanted to say.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. What I want to say is that everyone needs to learn to deal with people with the knowledge of how they are. So in other words, if you know a certain person has certain traits that you don't like, you can either choose to put them out of your life or deal with them with the knowledge of how they are. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, I like that. Flip side fishing. By the way, there's no timeouts or anything today. Like we're all gonna listen to everybody's stuff. All right. Flip side said, if you're a friend of everybody, you're an enemy to yourself. Mike Tyson. Ooh, I like that. If you're a friend,
and he's not wrong. He's not wrong. Just change your expectations a little bit.
I get
Keep
that.
them
No,
high,
I like that. I like that.
I do too. Very good.
That's a good
Thanks
one.
for having me up, Stephen. And I don't know what's going on with you, but you're a good man, and you just, it'll be all right. It'll be all right. And go Dolphins. And I love you back.
I love you. You're the best.
I'll talk
to you later, Miss Pam.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Next up, I'm just going to ask this person to respect the platform. Let's not call people out. Let's have a conversation. We can have a conversation with about people, but let's be respectful. Okay. That's all I ask. Good morning, EM. How are you, sir?
Stephen D, what's good, bro? It's been a minute.
First of all, before we get into anything, it has been a minute, and I miss you. And what's up, man? How are you?
Man, well, first off, do you have your whole getting EM timed out rule suspended while I'm up here today?
Suspended. Nobody can get timed out today.
All right, bet. Okay, so now, all right, cool.
I just ask that you respect the platform, which you have. You came up.
Don't I always respect the platform?
When I ask you to, you do. When I ask you to, I believe that you do. So yes.
Okay, cool, man. What's going on? What's on your mind, bro?
There's nothing.
It appears to be a lot on your mind right now and in your spirit right now. You look like a troubled man. You look like you got the weight of the world on your shoulders right now.
Well, first of all, that's just weight. Okay, that's not the weight of the world.
Okay.
Thanks. All right. So it's not that I have anything weighing on me. It's the fact that, okay, so I wasn't privy to hearing everything and what were and the situation that you were involved in, plus some other parties, right?
Mm-hmm.
I only heard secondhand, not just from said party, but from people that were listening, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing that I heard from every single person, no matter what, was no matter who's in the wrong, EM didn't have to do that dude like that.
Oh, are you freaking kidding me? Really?
Can I finish? Can I?
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. My bad.
Yeah, I'm not here to throw shade. I'm here to have a conversation. I had multiple parties, not just the one we're talking about. Multiple said that, yeah, you did him wrong. Like you shouldn't have done him like that. And what I can say is,
wow.
Based on past experiences.
That's crazy.
I think that your personality gets very aggressive and you get personal real quick sometimes.
Do I really? Really?
I think
I wasn't aware of that.
I think
really. Okay, well, that's fine. That's respect.
That's my opinion. That's my
respect. Okay, respect.
And I'm not trying to be disrespectful, and I don't think you think I am.
No, not at all. No, I don't take offense to that. That's fine. You're entitled to your own opinion. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. However, I find that is mind blowing to me to say that you were told that, you know, how this whole situation got flipped around and spun around and turned around, like I'm the one that was the aggressor, bro. Like
No, I just
that's mind blowing to me.
well, okay, that's not what I was trying to portray. What I was saying was that no matter what the situation, who was originally involved in it, when you inserted yourself into it, like you definitely crossed the line.
Well, first off, I didn't insert myself into anything.
Okay.
That individual took it upon himself to bring me into the conversation.
Okay.
I was sitting there. I wasn't even a speaker. I was sitting there listening.
Okay.
I was sitting there listening, you know, enjoying my day, trying to find some, you know, just trying to, you know, enjoying my day, trying to listen to some Dolphins content. Popped in a Twitter space. This individual he was a speaker, and they had drama going on, you know, even before I even got there, right?
And I heard that you laughed at something that he said. Is that correct? Is that yes?
Absolutely. What I can't laugh. I can't laugh about a take or I don't.
No. No. What I'm saying is that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if you know that you rubbed that person the wrong way, you know what's going to trigger that person. And you knew that by laughing in the way that you probably did, you were going to trigger that person.
What?
And you did.
So Steven, again, bro, like we're grown men here, right? I guess, aren't we all?
Yes.
At least, you know, so I can't, so we're in 2023 in the United States of America. I don't have that privilege, right? To respond to what somebody is saying on a public platform. I mean,
well, let me ask you: before it got personal, were you keeping it football related?
Oh, absolutely. I was just replying to. Actually that individual. He wasn't the only one that I was laughing at and responding to in the chat, bro.
He just took it that way.
I just found I found. You know,
some of it.
What I found very disturbing is that this individual, right? And again, I've never see Stephen D. I've been knowing this individual, knowing of him, had interactions with him long before you was even thought about, right?
Well, I was even a twinkle in the eye.
Absolutely. So I'm privy to information on this individual. Right, to a laundry list of information, how this individual moves, how he interacts with people, how he, you know, again.
Can I pause for a second? Can I pause?
Go ahead.
Did this laundry list, does it concern you personally or secondhand?
Well, no. Well, no, I don't give a. Well, pardon my language. I'm sorry. I was going to get a little animated there. I could care less about the laundry list of issues that he has with other people.
Got it.
I haven't spoke on it public. I've talked to people, you know, more in a private setting about how this individuals move, like with third, fourth, fifth parties.
Nothing wrong with that, by the way, either. We're having
exactly. So I've never addressed this individual like in any way, shape, or form. But again, the other day when I was in that Twitter space and I overheard this individual crying a river about how the things that he's been subjected to on the internet, whether it be YouTube, whether it be Twitter, whatever, public platforms. I find that so hypocritical that this individual is crying the blues, crying a river about things he's been subjected to when and I know first, again, everybody else, y'all not privy to the information that I'm privy to.
I think I am.
Y'all are not. No, you're not. No, you're not. Because if you were, I'm gonna say this. Because if you were, you wouldn't have the interaction with him to the level that you do. Trust me on that. Trust me on that. So at the end of the day, bro, again, I told that individual in the Twitter space, I'm not here to address or discuss anything what you have going on with any other individual in the community.
Yep.
He's the one that took it upon himself to call my name out in that space, and I just hopped up on the platform and addressed him directly, bro.
Fair. No, fair. I don't have a problem with anything that you just said. I think that again that is fine. What I will, all right. So let me ask you this then. Can you admit that sometimes, and I don't want to say you, but maybe you've at least heard, if not done yourself, that when it gets personal, that it loses everything, and then from there it just goes. Who knows what somebody says? There's an emotional take to it. There's emotional fuel to it. Is that
for sure? Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. So how do we stop that? Even if the other person is wrong, like, can we just be like, hey man, look, I'm not here to do this with you. I'm here to have a conversation about football. And that's what we're going to do.
Well, again, I can't speak for other people, but for me personally, my interaction with this said individual, there's been limited to no interaction with him. And I let him know in that Twitter space that will my approach to him and our interaction, it will remain what it has been in the past. It will remain consistent. So I don't have any desire to have any type of interaction with him on any level.
But I'm not just talking about him. I'm just saying in general. Like,
well, yeah. Well, I mean, again, we can just all just agree to disagree and keep it pushing, right? We don't have to interact. It's tons of people in the community, like, that I don't like, I don't see eye to eye with, I don't care about, right? And there's some people, again, I just know how to navigate. I just navigate around them. I know how to avoid them. I just avoid them at all costs, bro. Like, I don't want to interact with them. We can all, as adults, bro, we don't have to be friends. Everybody don't have to be, friends and
I agree with that. The last thing I think I want to address with you is if you and I I would say that we have a friendship and we have a level of respect for each other. Would you agree to that? You don't have to if you don't want to.
I'm going to plead the fifth on that one, but go ahead. No,
you going to plead the fifth?
No. Yeah.
All right. The reason I say that is
but go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
The reason I say that is if my interaction with person X, and I'm not just saying that person, I'm just saying in general, we're just going to say person X is one thing. And another person that you respect and are friends with has another one that's, let's say, 3 or 4 years old. Is that not, you can't take what my interaction with that person is into account, into your feelings towards them, because you've said, I've never had any personal, dealings with him because of what other people have told me and how I believe that he moves. But if I give you a totally different story and say, hey, look, this person's been loyal, he's done everything.
No, I don't know. In this particular instance, no, because again, I think I'm privy to more information about him, direct information, not second and third hand, direct information on this individual. And there's nothing you can say. Your opinion. Listen, your interaction with him, your relationship with him is what it is. Bro, y'all do what that's fine,
Yeah.
But no, it will not have any kind of influence on my opinion of him professionally, personally, etc. It's that ship is sailed a long time ago, and it is what it is.
I guess one more thing before I move on to the next
positive influence, I should say. Go ahead.
When you see people in the community,
go ahead and let Lewis up real quick. By the way, real quick, let him up because he can shed light on some of this information real quick.
All right, and by the way, I respect you not saying the person's name because
listen, Steve, I never have publicly, bro. Never have.
And I appreciate that. All right, so I'll bring, because you asked them. I was only trying to bring people on one at a time. Lewis, good morning, brother, sir.
Oh,
pal.
Good morning.
Lou, Lewis, did you hear what Stephen D said about like how this whole situation got spun around on and I'm made out to be the aggressor, bro? Can you believe that? That's crazy to me.
That's not what I said. To be fair.
Well, listen. Take it from a guy that was in that situation, or I was around when that situation happened, and I've said this to a couple people, right?
Yep.
EM wasn't even a speaker at the time where EM's name was mentioned.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if we're starting to, because I've heard the back and forth you guys had, Stephen, and all I'm saying is
it was a good one, by the way.
And it was a great conversation. But if you're going to call out somebody for maybe a laughing emoji, right? Because on Twitter, there's all kind of emojis. You can put up 100. You could do smile, laughing, whatever. If you're going to call somebody out for a laughing emoji, all I would say is, again, in an arena like that on Twitter, where your voice is heard, you put a face on it, you're talking, don't get mad if a name is called and that person comes in and has a discussion with you or confronts you about that. Like, you have to have thicker skin, is all I'm going to say.
So,
right? Like, it is what it.
Let me speak on that.
That is crazy to me.
So, and I'm not just saying this person in particular. I'm going to say multiple conversations with multiple people within this community. I have had conversations with hey, look, let me tell you and you know what? I'll be transparent with my personal. I'm a big guy. We all know this. I'm fat. I ain't afraid to admit it. I get it. I know what I look like. I've had people straight bully about the way I look, how much I eat, how I interact with certain people. I try to do good things and I get shit for that, even when you try to do good stuff. What I have learned in doing this is there's always going to be somebody that's going to hate on you. There's always going to be somebody that's got something to say. There's always going to be somebody that's going to try to get under your skin. And I let that roll off my back. Right now, I agree that there are certain people that are in this community that probably are not mentally able to handle some of the things that happen within the community when you're in that spotlight or you're in that role. But I think that we can do a better job of when that stuff happens to that person, because why should that person be excluded from the community altogether? That's not fair. We're like,
we all
love the DolFAN.
Hang on real quick, Lou. Well, listen, I don't agree with, I don't subscribe to the cancel culture, right?
Yep.
But however, there are instances where people, their actions, their movement is so egregious, right, that it warrants a level of pressure to kind of put them on blast. And some people need to be made an example of, right, publicly, of what not to do and how not to move in this community, because when they get canceled, when they get removed from the community, right, well, that need to serve that public display can be served as a deterrent of what not to do. And this individual who we all know, right? This is why I have such a, my feelings, my personal opinion of him professionally and personally, I have such a bad evaluation of him, is because how the things that he's done to people. Look, behind closed doors.
Let me
right.
Hold on, Luke.
Well, people in the chat are saying, I don't think it's fair. Hold on, Stephen, real quick. I don't think it's fair that people in the chat are saying who. Like, we're having the discussion again. I think if we say a name, it's not to out that person. It's just to.
There's no reason to, because my goal, Lou, in my opinion, and this is my platform, my goal is that if people hear this video 2 years from now or 6 months from now, that it's not going to bring up old things. It's just a good conversation to have that we can relate it to whatever's going on.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Absolutely.
And that's the way I want to go about it. So I appreciate you guys saying that. Now, let me say this, Ian. I'm going to say two things to you. I disagree with you wholeheartedly that we should out people or put people on blast, because number one, no matter what their transgressions have been in the past, we can all go within our past and say, yep, I was bad there. Like, there's
not to the level. Again, it's certain. Again, you don't get the death penalty in a court of law, right, over a speeding ticket.
Correct.
You don't. You have to commit a level. You have exactly. And again, that's why I use that word egregious. How their movement, how they interact, the things that they try to do to people publicly and privately are so egregious, right, that it warrants that level of pressure being applied.
Well,
period.
And what I'll say to that, EM, is, and I'm not trying to get religious on you, so unfortunately, this is the only thing that I can align it to, example that I can give, is that, and I'm not trying to get religious, okay, is if in the Bible it says one sin. It doesn't matter if you murder somebody, kill somebody, cheat on somebody, steal, lie. Sin is sin, no matter how bad it is, right? So,
and according to, and not to get religious as well, but according to that book you're referencing right now, what are the penalties of sins?
Oh, the death, no matter what. Right?
Okay, then,
or eternal hell. You know.
Okay, then, 100%.
So, but he also in that same book preaches forgiveness, and that we are all forgiven whether we murder somebody or steal or just do a bold out lie, right? That's what I want this community to get into, is understanding the word of forgiveness and empathy. I don't care. In my opinion, you don't have to agree with it. Okay, hold on. Finish.
Go ahead.
You don't have to agree with it, and I'm not asking you to. I am just asking for people to have empathy, to look of having empathy and understanding that no matter what their transgressions were in the past, no matter how bad it was, forgiveness. It's all about forgiveness, because if we can't forgive others, like how are we supposed to move in this world? That to me, that's how I look at it.
And see, Stephen, I have somewhat an issue with not with your message, because again, bro, like some people do warrant a level of forgiveness, and again,
everybody wants forgiveness.
I'm not a choir boy. That's been well documented, right?
You're not a choir boy.
But at the end of the day, bro, see, the issue I have, Stephen, and this is like the second or third time that you've gone public about not the exact same issue, but similar. Mm-hmm. See, and I addressed you in the past, right? Not on a panel, but in the chat.
Yeah,
you're only this passionate about this issue when the issue happens to somebody close to you.
100%.
I don't never hear you out here, and your chat is a toilet bowl at times, can be. Right, a lot of these chats on these platforms,
and I try
a freaking toilet bowl, right? Yep. But I never hear you, and you heard me press you on this before. Mm-hmm. I never hear you this passionate about this particular issue until it happens to somebody close to you. See, that's the problem right there.
But that's that's all. Like I
bro, you read the chat just like everybody else does. You see your chat. I don't hear you sit up here saying, look, you seeing that interaction daily, right? Not yearly, not monthly, daily. And I never hear you sit up there unless it address you or somebody close to you. Right, you see that? Hang on real quick. Let me land. Yeah. And that is the problem, right? Because, nobody speaks out about it unless it happens to them or somebody close to them. We all need to do a better job of when you see that level of interaction with people, right? And I'm guilty of it too, but I always have, I always tell people all the time, I don't go seeking out problems with people. I only deal with is being brought to my doorstep, right? But I never hear people in the chat saying, hey man, leave this person alone, or man, y'all need to chill. There's some people that do that. I can't say everybody, but there's some people that do that. But for the most part, they don't. It's only when it's addressing them or somebody close to them. And that is the issue I have with you right now, Stephen. Not a big issue, but a minor one.
No, it's fair. All right. And what I can say is, in my opinion, I have addressed those things when they have come up. And you're not here every single moment of every single day to say that I haven't done it. Now, I have. Now, can I do a better job? 100% could. And I'm not denying that. But when I do see it, even if it's not directly related to me, I've 100% had this conversation on a platform of, hey, what we're not going to do is like call each other names in here and stuff like that. Now, I've also said, and unequivocally, I am running a show. I'm trying to, run social media. I'm trying to make sure everybody sounds good. Like run it. I'm doing it all. So the last thing I can do sometimes is pay attention to the chat in detail to get involved with these conversations, because it takes a level of attention to deal with. And I'm one man. I can only do so much. So I have I have said in the past, I said, we need to police ourselves. Now, if something is egregious, I have asked those people to reach out to me via, social media, or people that are, directly related to me, which, by the way, Lou has reached out to me in the past about something in chat. Von Joe has. Who else? There have been a few people. Andravius definitely has a couple of times. And when those things are pointed out to me, I address it and then deal with it behind closed doors.
Well, I don't like to hear the excuse of, well, I can only do something. Bro, it's your responsibility. You just like you contact people to get thumbnails made. Everything that goes into running your business, right? With your channel is your business. That's a big part of that. That's a big part of it. If I had a platform, right, which y'all stay tuned. There's something might be in the works coming here down the pipeline real soon, by the way. But anyway, that's a whole another conversation for another day. But that's part of your responsibility, bro. Just like everything else that falls under that umbrella of operating your business, a big part of it. These people are your subscribers. These people are showing up every day to listen to you, all your content that you're bringing on a daily basis, bro. And you don't take enough responsibility to police these fucking idiots in the chat when they're being fucking just absolutely ridiculous and disrespectful to people.
Oh, see, EM, you're starting to get emotional, and you're letting the emotion.
My bad, bro. My bad. But yeah, it's ridiculous. But then you whine, and then you whine, and then when people turn up on these individuals, right, call them out on it, they get labeled as the aggressor, just like I got it labeled aggressor in this particular situation, bro.
Hold up.
No, it's ridiculous.
Hold up. Number one, I said that I have addressed it. You didn't like my answer. You didn't like how I addressed it. I can't make everybody happy. Number two, I clearly stated what I heard and asked you to clarify it for me. And what I heard from multiple people, not just one person, multiple people. So that's all I said.
So again, Stephen,
that were said. And
why didn't you reach out to me then? You say I'm your friend, right? You say you got you hold me in high regard, right? Just like this said individual. Well, why didn't you reach out to me? You can, if you can't reach out to me directly, you definitely got a link with Lewis. I talk to Lewis every freaking day, almost.
So
where was your reaching out to me, Ian? What's going on, bro? If you say I am your friend, right, and you respect me, just like this other said individual.
Because I told said individual, that I think that's part of your personality, and I don't think your personality is never going to change. Like, that's who you are, and I've accepted you for that. I have no problem with you. So why am I going to call you when I don't have an issue?
Can I just jump in here real quick? And I don't know. Can y'all hear me fine? Do I sound okay?
You sound ugly, but that's neither here or there.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I would just. Stephen, I would ask this, right? When said individual, let's say, made that phone call to you.
Yes.
It's funny that, and again, just from a third party, right? Just a guy that was around and has had kind of altercations with this said individual.
Yep.
Right? Did he mention any of the things that he did?
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Because it just seemed
he did.
Well, again,
I bet he hadn't mentioned a lot of the things he's done in the past of trying to get people canceled out of the community. I bet he didn't tell you that. I can guarantee you that.
Hold on, Ian. Calm down. We're having a good conversation. I want to keep it that way. What I will say to you is I can only go off what he's ever told me and showed me. And I've seen some egregious stuff that he's done and what he told me and said, look, I went out, I did this, I regret it, I've apologized for it. What else am I supposed to do to it? Okay, so be it.
Okay, but right here, Stephen, this is what I was trying to get to and to my point. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're good. This is what I was trying to get to.
Yep.
It just seems like because I keep hearing this word forgiveness. And I listen, I think everybody in the world believes
I probably should use the word empathy more than forgiveness. So I probably
okay, yeah, because
the
word forgiveness, right? It's the fact of it's a
you have to I like what I apologize for interrupting you. I like what Pamela said. Pamela said in the chat that people need to ask for forgiveness in order to forget it, but to forgive it. And that's true, right? So what I should say, and let me retract the statement of saying the proper word I should use is, can we have more empathy for others? That's what I should.
Okay, but the fact of the matter remains, it's the same. Empathy for what? If a person or a said individual comes at another individual, you can't on the other end when the other party kind of, let's say, turns up, you can't come out here and play victim. You can't come out here and tell somebody, or oh, well,
110%.
you have no idea what I'm going through, because okay, you're absolutely right. We might not know what that party is going through, but the same individual that you just came at, you don't know what I'm going through or that other party's going through.
100%.
So again, you can't just keep reaching, doing the same things, but then all of a sudden play wolf and cry victim when someone actually gives you the response that you're giving first, that you're looking for.
And sending you out, Stephen, to fight his battles for him, bro.
Let's get something straight. He is not
right.
I'm doing
Stephen, go out there and kind of tell the people to forgive me. Oh, please.
Not one time.
Please. Please.
EM, see that right?
They don't know what I'm going through. Man, fuck out of here with that soft ass shit, bro. I don't want to hear none of that. At the end of the day, everybody, listen, this is now. He needs to learn as a, with this particular situation. I hope it's really resonating with him. He really need to conduct a self-evaluation and turn away from his wicked ways, because that's exactly what they are, bro. Because again, I'm privy to information that you obviously aren't. So at the end of the day, when I see Jason Sarney, and our paths will cross probably sooner rather than later, I'm not going to put my hands on Jason Sarney. Trust me, it's other people.
Chill, bro.
No. Let me finish. Listen, I don't have that kind of.
I'm putting you on mute. I'm not taking you off. I don't want to talk names. And I asked you to respect that.
Oh, did I say a name? Yeah. Did I really? Oh, damn, my bad, bro. I'm sorry.
No, you did.
My bad. I'm sorry.
You're better. No, come on.
No, now. I'm serious. I'm sorry, bro. Really. I did not. That was not my intention to name names.
Not to do that.
I'm sorry. That was not my intention to name names.
Let me pause you. That's the problem.
Damn, my bad, bro.
That's the problem that I have with you sometimes. Is that when you get emotional, you take it to another level and you do what you say. I don't do that. But you clearly did.
No. So people don't misspeak. People don't misspeak.
Let me land. And then
so why are you blowing this up, Stephen? Why are you blowing this up? Why are you making this out to be bigger than actually what it is, bro?
Well, two things. Number one,
I made a mistake. I misspoke. I didn't mean to. I did not deliberately name drop. That was not my intentions, bro. You're making this out to be bigger than what I did. I not. I've been following your guidelines for the whole show, bro.
You have.
So,
but that was one I really didn't want crossed.
I understand, and that's my bad, bro. I didn't even, bro. And really, I'm not, animated right now. I just was talking, and man, that's my bad, bro.
That is emotional.
That is my bad, bro. Like that was not my intentions to name drop, for real, 100%, bro.
I can't say anything except to say that is what you're saying to me. I have to accept that for what it is. Now, let me finish. Let me land.
Go ahead.
Okay. That's not the first time that you've done that. You've done that before.
Done what?
Where you've overstepped that line that we ask you not to step.
Okay, can you give me an example when that was?
Plenty of times. You get up here and I say, hey, look, let's have a debate. I'm going to bring this person up here. Within 5 minutes, you're like, come step to me there. And if I see this person, it's all sight. You have said that on multiple occasions, EM.
Well, I have no recollection of that. You're going to have to go clip that up on a show and bring that information to my attention.
I'm not lying, though. You have, bro.
But again, okay, but in this instance, bro, that was not my intentions to name drop. Like I was following your guidelines, bro.
And to be fair, I forgive you for that. Let me just say that out loud. Okay. Now, again, to finish up with the conversation. Okay. For me, it's not about two things. Number one, the person never told me to address this issue. I wasn't even going to do a show today. Number two, it wasn't even because of that issue that I chose to address this, because there is another situation that has nothing to do with you, by the way.
And I'm not here to discuss that. I'm not trying to even, I don't want to know about that.
Yeah. So that's what triggered me wanting to say something this morning. Now, what I did then was ask my audience, what would you like to do? And they said, well, let's have a conversation about certain things about it. Okay, I don't have a problem with that. Here are the guidelines. This is what I'd like to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, look, man.
And again, Steven, I'm sorry, bro. That was not my intention to name drop. I'm serious, bro. Like,
thank you for saying
so
that.
but at the end of the day, I don't have let me finish my point. Like, I don't have that type of energy towards this unsaid individual. But I just hope I hope he really, really learns from this experience, this situation, because again, it's just not what happened in that Twitter space, right? That for me now, again, I'm not speaking for any other people, but information that I've seen over the years since 2019 and not necessarily following this guy. But again, I talk to people privately, right? That are in similar circles, back channels and certain people in the community. And they, information has been revealed about this individual, this unsaid individual.
That was done 3 or 4 years ago.
No, it was recent. No, it's been more recent than you think. But again, I'm not here to address that because my name, I'm not, again, I don't have nothing to do with that issue. But I'm just saying that in addition to my personal interaction with him, going back some years, has greatly influenced my opinion of him, right? That's the reason why I have such a low opinion of him.
And to be fair, I'm not here to change your opinion of him. I'm here to try to say that what we need to do in general, and not with just this person, with anybody for that matter, is that when something like we see, what's the word I want to use? When we see something on, so like what happened, right? It sounded like, from what I heard, again, I didn't hear everything. I heard bits and pieces of it from a recording, not everything. And I've heard from third parties, multiple ones, okay? Not just 1 or 2, 4 or 5, okay? Is that the moment somebody ganging up on him, everybody started ganging up on him.
Well, I don't have no control over that. Again, I was very clear what
I want to say is what we can do is when that happens is we can do better as a whole, as a community, and say, no, that's not going to happen.
Well, I hope, and I sincerely hope, right, that message is being relayed to him, because again, Steven, you're not in a lot of those spaces when what I'm being told. Now, again, I'm not on the internet like that too much anymore, as much as others.
Why I'm not in those spaces a lot? Because I do think, not just him, I'm not in those spaces a lot because I have seen bullying happen where people attack each other and it gets personal.
100%. But here's the thing. I'm not on the internet like that anymore. So I'm just going off, information that's being brought to my attention about him specifically. And that message, right, that you've been banging the table about.
I have been banging to him, to be fair.
Okay, well, I hope so. And I hope the message is being relayed to him, and I hope it's really resonating with him, because a lot of the things that you're talking about, the bullying, the condescension, the belittling, the indirect shots and jabs that allegedly he takes at people because he's quote unquote more plugged than these individuals, right? I hope that's really resonating with him, because what I'm being told, he's guilty of a lot of that movement that you're referencing right now.
I can only go based on the knowledge that I know, right? And the one thing I'll say to you is, yes, I do seem to address this in a public manner when it is about somebody that I've had a personal, relationship with, because I've been there, man. I know what it feels like to have the world think that everybody's against you, and
yeah, 100%. I mean.
And
let me give you an example real quick, Steven.
And I'll tell you, it's the worst feeling in the world sometimes.
Well, I could care less of what people's opinions of me. I mean, I guess I'm just built different, but I could give a goddamn what people's opinions of me are, right? Yeah, but let me give you an example. Not to get into too many specifics and rehash that situation, but there was a lady in the community that was treated, it was embarrassing, right? As a DolFAN fan, to observe and to find out that certain people in the community are harassing people and moving around and bullying, attempting to bully people like they tried to do with her over a freaking football take. And if you look at the response from a lot of individuals in the community, bro, and I was proud. That was a proud moment as being a member of this community, right? Look at how people clicked, they came together. They observed the situation and was like, listen, no more of that. That has gone on too long. Right. And they got him, pretty much canceled and they got him out of the way. This individual said, this unsaid individual got him out of here, and it should have. Right. Mm-hmm. But that is a prime example of, and again, I didn't know this person that was being bullied. Lewis didn't know this person that was being bullied. There's a lot of people that did not know this lady or have a level of relationship with this lady, but they observed what transpired and said that is a problem. That is how you address these type issues. Again, Stephen, that's my issue with you. And again, I hope you learn from this. Don't just wait until it happens to somebody close to you or you directly. No, you see people that you don't know being unfairly treated. That is when we all need to rally around each other and really galvanize and address the issue and the idiots that are out here moving like that, bro.
Can I rebuttal?
Go ahead. I mean, you really gonna try to rebut that, but go ahead.
Yes, because I'm pretty sure I know the exact thing that you're talking about of said young lady that is in this community. And I was there when it happened, and I was one of the ones that called it out in the moment and was very vocal about it then. The second thing I'll say to it is, I have Spread Kindness Friday for a reason, EM, because I always try to talk about it. If
maybe you need to have Spread Kindness Friday, Spread Kindness Monday, Spread Kindness Tuesday. Maybe you got to do whatever you need to do to.
So last thing I want to say. It's probably not the last thing, but one more thing I want to say is I have Spread Kindness Friday for a reason, right? Because I don't want to see it in this community. My name is Spread Kindness, Positivity, and Love. I talk about it a lot. Okay. I am very vocal about it within the community. If anybody is, it's me. Now, there are some people within this community that are not like that. And when they're spreading not kindness and not positivity and not love, I don't see you shutting them down or saying anything about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Yes. So first and foremost, Stephen, I'm not on the internet like you guys are anymore. I'm not. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I don't. I'm away from, bro. I'm very. See me pop in and out on YouTube or Twitter. I'm not. That's a fact, right? So I'm not in these spaces like.
I haven't heard you in a while. I'll give you that.
Bro, I'm not on the internet like that. I'm giving a lot of people what they want. They wanted to get me up off the internet and out of the community. Well, I took it upon myself to oblige those individuals, right? So again, I just go off of a lot of things that I've been told. But bro, just like this instance with this young lady, I don't know this lady from a can of paint. Never laid eyes on her personally in my life, bro. But I saw that, and go back to 2020, right? Not just recent. But if you remember on 2020 on multiple platforms, this bullying over, and again, we're not to bring up Tua or what, to make this a Tua issue, but when I was observing, right, these Tuaneers and these Tua fans, right, were attempting to bully, ridicule a lot of people. If they deemed you have a difference of opinion about his play on the field, bro, go back to 2019. Bro, I was on an island on the front line calling these idiots out, bro. So for you to sit here and say that, obviously you're not privy to that information, but I highly encourage you to go back and dig those shows up, bro.
I'm not saying you've never done it. I'm just saying I don't see it often from you, which is
I'm not on the internet anymore. I'm not on the internet as much as I used to be.
But the same thing, you called me out earlier saying, "Hey, look, I don't see you doing it. I have a show."
But you're on the internet. You do a show every day.
Positivity and love.
Well,
he does it more than me.
Well, again, you got Spread Positivity and Kindness on Friday. Well, maybe you need to have that on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday.
Hey, EM,
you got to do what you got to do, Steven. You got to step it up, bro.
You're right, EM. You're right. When you right, EM.
So I'm just saying.
You know what? This is the last thing I want to say. I didn't call you because I didn't think that from what with the exception of you going after him personally, from what I heard, again,
I didn't go after him. For the record, I didn't go after him. Okay. He called my name.
I understand. I'm just telling you why I didn't call you. I know how you operate, and I know the type of person you are. and you're a good person, but you can get very aggressive in a moment. You can get very emotional in a minute. And I've told that person that we're talking about, that's who he is. You can't change that. You can't any more than he can change you. You have to understand that that's what you're going to do when you're on a platform with them. That's
and you know what?
You're gonna get.
But you know what's crazy? But you know what's crazy about that situation though, Steven?
Let me just say that's why I didn't call you, because I didn't think that you did. I personally didn't see or hear enough for me to warrant. I should call him and say, "Hey, bro, what's up? You've done it a million times. Like, I don't think you did anything wrong compared to what you've done in the past. Now, are you aggressive? 100% you are. Do I think that you crossed the line, with your words sometimes? Yes, you have in the past. But I didn't hear it personally this time. I can only go off of what I was told. And you're sitting here telling me I didn't do, like, that's not what I did. So who am I going to believe? The 5 people that said something, or the person that was directly related to it who allegedly said? I'm going to take your word for it because that's what you're telling me. And
what the crazy thing about that whole interaction the other day, specifically that particular incident, right? I wasn't even aggressive, dude. I mean, that I was not, bro. I purposely, because I know how fragile this unsaid individual is, right? I know it, right? So even though he said things about me in the past, right? Trying, and he's tried to some degree, he's had salt shakers out, right? Pouring it on my name or whatnot in the community. That's fine. Bro, listen, again, I think y'all know, I think you know me well enough. I could give two flips about what people's opinions of me are, bro. But at the end of the day, when I addressed him, I was purposely, right? My interaction with him, bro, I was not aggressive with him. I think the most aggressive thing I said to him, I wasn't in there screaming. It wasn't a shouting match. The most aggressive thing about what I said to him that could be somewhat deemed aggressive, I just basically told him, bro, I just don't have a high opinion of you as a person, bro, professionally or personally. That's the most aggressive thing I said to him. So I don't see how, and I don't deem that being aggressive. That's just my opinion.
That's just your opinion, and you can't, blame somebody from your opinion.
But I would greatly appreciate, though, if you say that I'm your friend, right? Yep. If I'm your friend, you have a high opinion of me, which is rare in this community. I acknowledge that, right?
Yeah. Do you want to know why? Like, I've defended you to people before because I think your football IQ is off the charts. I think you're real.
That's greatly appreciated, Steven. That's greatly appreciated.
100%. I think you know your shit. But just as much as you know your shit, Jason knows his shit too. That person knows,
and that's fine. That's fine.
Knows his stuff, right?
Yeah, that's fine. Listen, there's a lot of, in terms of the details of football and being able to articulate and deliver information, right, publicly, on stream, on camera, etc. There's a lot of talented individuals in the community, bro. I wouldn't necessarily put Jason in that category, but that's just my personal opinion. But I'm not knocking you or mad at you for you putting him in that category. But yeah, absolutely, 100%. Okay. So, but that's greatly appreciated because, unfortunately, there's, I got a few haters in the community. They think I'm not, my takes are garbage and, I offer like no value in the community. So it's good to see at least one individual in the community has a decent opinion of EM's football takes, bro, and my football base, my knowledge base. So salute to you, man. But for future reference, if you say that I'm a friend of yours and, just reach out to me, man. Say, hey, EM, what's going on, bro? Don't just take.
Well, if I didn't think that can I clarify something? If it was your personality, and I know that's who you are, why would I call you at that moment? Like, I don't think you did anything wrong per se from that standpoint.
Well, this is how I handle it. Well, let me give you an example, right? We all know how close I am with Lewis and I are, right?
You guys are like,
hey man, he's terrible on camera. He's terrible with his football takes, but at the end of the day, bro, he's terrible, right? That's the fact. But I love that guy, man. I got a lot of respect for him as a man, first and foremost. But there have been instances in the past. This is how I move, right? And again, I'm revealing, things that I generally don't move like this, but I think at this particular time it's somewhat appropriate. There's been issues like, a lot more serious than what happened the other day in that Twitter space with my interaction with Sarney. But there's been situations where, people that that I'm real cool with, they've had issues with other people that I kind of have a relationship with as well in the past. You know what I do? You know what whenever and they've clashed, they've went at each other like a hell of a lot more worse than what happened the other day. Mm-hmm. But I came, aware of that situation. You know what I did? I reached out to both of them because I'm that line of communication between them. They didn't necessarily have interaction, but I was the middleman, so to speak. Yeah. So you know what I did? And I advise you to do this. Anybody that you deem that you respect, right? And you consider them a quote unquote friend, right?
Yeah.
I reached out to both of them and got them, to sit down and really talk about their issues as being a mediator. I would highly encourage. I would highly encourage you. Hopefully,
to be fair,
you would take that approach in the future, bro.
So I have done that before,
but you didn't do it with me. I'm just saying with me. I don't. What you do with other people is your business. But I'm saying with me.
I didn't do that in this situation because that person he just doesn't want anything to do with you right now. Like, and even if he did,
I'm not saying listen.
Even if that person did, I don't think they're in the right mental space right now to deal with it.
Well, let me clarify. I'm not saying for you to take that exact example verbatim. I'm just saying you could have reached out to me to figure out what's going on, bro.
I apologize.
You know what I mean?
For not doing that. I handled it the way I saw fit, and moving forward, I will do that with you. But I just so you know, like my thought process was, EM was being EM, like. There's no reason for me to address it with him because that's who he is. That's all. That's all I'm saying. But in the future,
cool.
I'll address it that way.
That's cool, bro. But again, like I said, that anybody that I consider, a friend, whatnot, and if I can be somewhat of a mediator, and just again, if I can kind of,
I'll do that moving forward, bro.
We should all do that again. We should all do that, bro. We should all take that approach.
I can tell that. People will tell you I have done that for other people that have had beef within this community.
Well, that's crazy. You consider me a friend, bro, and you didn't even extend me that courtesy. Wow. That is crazy. You do it for everybody else, right? Yeah. But you claim, EM, you know what? You're a friend of mine. But you don't even do that. I can't even get that courtesy extended. Wow.
Yeah.
Man. Okay.
I love you. You know I love you.
At least I know where I stand, bro. At least I know where I stand.
Right here in my heart, man. In my heart. Okay.
So it's all good though, bro. I ain't doing no tripping.
Hey, real talk. I appreciate you having a conversation with me. I think that the said party, I'd like for there to be a conversation in the future, but behind closed doors, not on a public platform. But I don't think that person's ready for it yet, and may not ever be ready for it. At least.
Well, no. Listen, I have no desire to interact with that unsaid person. No, you don't have to worry about that. We keep it pushing. I'm going
but
so no.
But spread kindness, positivity, and love, right?
On Friday, on Monday, on Tuesday, on Thursday, you need to be.
Wednesday, we wilding out.
You got to do what you got to do, Steven. You need to take a bigger part in this. You need to have a bigger role in this, bro, because your chat.
My whole name is that.
Your chat.
To do.
Hey, man.
My whole name is that.
Hey, your chat, bro. Your chat on a lot of days, bro, is a freaking toilet bowl. And you got a lot of idiots in there now. I'm seeing in the chat. You got a lot of them fucking idiots.
See, there you go. Get off my show. With you again. Get off.
Damn, my bad. But yeah,
be good.
Salute.
Man, okay?
Hey, man, salute to you. Salute.
Be good. Man, we out here. All right. Okay. I got. Let me drop the link in here for other people that might want to come on. We could talk football if y'all want. By the way, we can talk whatever you want to talk about. It is y'all's show. I'll be on for a little bit longer today. Rashad, be quiet, Rashad. I think that everybody has something to offer this community. I think we're all good people, except for this person that's about to come on now. I can't stand this guy.
I came up here to tell you this was the gayest fucking show you've ever had. I hate you so much.
You hate me so much that dropped off. I love you too, Dre. Nene, good morning.
Hey, I just wanted to come up real quick. I just came from the dentist, so just be patient with.
Hey, did they pull teeth? Did you get it like?
No. I had to get some cavities removed. But
hey,
I just wanted
to that Halloween candy. It's a month old now, Nene. Okay, throw the Halloween candy away. All right, just put it away.
Yeah, I just want to. I don't know, y'all moving on from what was said, but I just want to speak to the part that EM was saying about the young lady. That was me. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if you did anything on the back channel.
We're talking about two different people then, because I was talking about somebody else.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because that was me, and I was like, Steven, I didn't know you. I know EM and Louis.
No. There was somebody else. There was somebody else within the community. That's another young lady. That yes, and behind closed doors, I will fill you in on all about it. But yeah, look, I'm sorry that happened to you, and if I
right, and that's what I want to speak to. I want to speak to that space. I was in there, and Jace. Oh, I'm sorry. That person attacked me, and that's what started all of this. Is because people got tired of that individual attacking people because they had a difference of opinion when it came to Christian Wilkins and him being what his situation is going to be. I know EM has a way of articulating himself, but that I was in that space. Yeah. He didn't do anything wrong. And I don't like when people do that, when they assume because somebody's personality that they're automatically was responsible for whatever rumors they heard. I was in there, and even that individual apologized to myself and the other individuals he disrespected. So for that individual to come and tell you something different, that's wild to me.
Well,
I was in there.
All right, so to be fair, I mean, I said what I said because that's what I interpreted from him saying what he said, right? But how do I put this? To get out of the way of that particular scenario, right? I would say that I think there are some people that are clearly cut for this, and there's some people that clearly aren't. And there's ways to be within this business and be within your strengths instead of your weaknesses. We can try to address those weaknesses and work to get them to make them more positives. But I have worked with individuals in those, and not just him, other individuals with that, because I want everybody to feel a part of this community. And if they don't feel like that, whether they're in the wrong or not, my goal is to what can I do to make this better? And so today, I swear to you, Nene, it was not that situation that triggered this for me. It was another one. And it was the person that was involved in that. I was like, whoa, that person is involved in some drama that's similar to the one that I've heard about that we're discussing. I'm like, all right, if that's the case, there's way too much drama going on in this community right now, especially when our team is 9-3, especially when our team is on a Super Bowl run, right? Like, so I felt that I haven't been on in like a week and a half because I've been dealing with my own stuff. And I just felt it's Spread Kindness Friday. I would be remiss if I didn't address some of the issues that are going on within the community that people have brought to my attention or that I've witnessed.
Well, I don't want to stay on here long. I'm sure you got other people, and when you bring up,
I ain't got nobody else. I mean, I do have a couple other people, but look, we ain't never really got a chance to talk no football, you and I.
Yeah, I just wanted to speak to that situation, what y'all was talking about with EM.
I'd like to talk shop with you in the future. I'd love to talk football with you.
Sure. I just wanted to be fair because I was actually in there and I can speak to that. And because even that person apologized to me. He explained that he had some personal things going on, some inboxes.
By the way, he did say that to me. He did say that. Like, he told me that.
Yeah, but EM wasn't wrong. And I know what you're talking about, allegedly with EM's behaviors. He was not wrong at all, and I just could not allow that to happen.
Well, and to be fair, Nene, I just said, look, this is what other people said. I didn't, how if other people are telling me that's not the accused or said party, I just got to bring it to your attention and say, hey, look, and it wasn't just one other person. It was like 3 or 4, So that's all. But you're telling me something totally different, and that's fair too. So, and that's how it's, for example, right? Like, we all love the Dolphins and what they're doing. But we can watch the same game and have 4 different opinions about it, watching the same thing. And so I think that kind of works in the real world too, with some of that stuff. Just my opinion. But I want to talk football with you, Nene. Next time you come up here, we talking football, okay? We talking Tua. We talking MVP. Okay, Nene? You hear me? You on mute. You're on mute. I can't hear you. Is you gone? Is you finished?
No, I'm still here. And everybody, this is me. I just came back from the dentist. That's what's going on. Okay, that's for the people in the chat. But I don't mind talking ball. I'm in school. I'm in law school, and I'm also a divinity school major. So when you were throwing out scripture out there,
where do you go to law school at,
I had a problem. Campbell University in North Carolina. So
Campbell, shout out Campbell in the building.
Right. Today is the last day of class.
My buddy used to coach there, former NFL player Marcus Ogden. He used to coach at Campbell.
And I will give you a football take. I'm so happy that we locked up Austin Jackson. It was a great move. Great move by Greer. I would just let
Jackson apologist to slide through today. Okay, that's what I need.
Mm-hmm. But all right, I'm not gonna hold you. I didn't think that was fair to EM because he did call EM up there, and I wanted to make sure you got a different side of the story.
Perspective, and I got it, Nene. I appreciate it. Be good.
You have a blessed day.
You have a blessed day. You stay blessed. I'm way up. I feel blessed. Big Nick.
Man, what they do, baby?
What they do, Big Nick? How are you, my guy?
Hey, man, look, man, I ain't come on here to talk ball, man.
Okay, all right. Hey,
there's no need for Big Nick to talk ball. We already know that Big Nick believes the Miami Dolphins will be the AFC representatives of the 2024 Super Bowl. So there's nothing for me to say. But what I do want to say, I want to talk the laws of averages, if that's okay.
Okay.
What is more of a probability that a small, minute group of people is always coming to defend themselves because everybody else got it wrong? Or is it possible that the vast majority of people got it right and that small little inkling of people always got to come defend themselves because they're full of shit?
Okay. So I'm sure you're talking about somebody in particular.
I'm talking about a group of people in particular.
Okay. I'm going to answer that honestly for you, Big Nick.
What's more probable?
No, I'm gonna answer. Let me cook, man.
Okay.
Let me fry and pan. Let me cook. I'm gonna answer.
Okay.
I think that, as I just stated with Nene, we can have 100 people in this room watch the Dolphins game, and we can all see Tua do what he does, and then all of a sudden there might be 4 or 5 different versions of what we saw from Tua that game, right? We can all say that, right? And it doesn't make it any right or wrong. It's just our view of what we saw happen. And so I think the same thing can be said in a debate, or something personal or something that's said is they can see it from their eyes as that's their point of view. Now, does it make it right? No. Does it make it wrong? No. It's just the reality of the situation. And to answer your question, what I have found in general in life is that the minority group of people that are very adamant about a particular subject are very vocal and loud. And the majority of people, a majority of people, I'm not saying they're wrong, and a majority of people that feel the way that most people feel aren't even choosing to address it because it's not worth the time, or it's not worth, the debate in their mind. That's what I have seen, in my opinion, in life.
So here's where I'm going to close with this, right? I was on a panel the other night, and I asked a particular person, since everybody's remaining anonymous.
Yep.
I asked a particular person, do you believe at this level of football, talking about the NFL, the Miami Dolphins in particularly, do you believe that do you have a trained eye enough to give assessments of the team that influences the fan base? Now, this is a person that was on the exact same panel that my untrained eye ass was on.
Okay.
And this person said, absolutely, they believe they have a trained eye to properly evaluate NFL players, the scheme, the system, the coaches, everything. And to me, that's what brings a lot of side-eyed looking at people, because God dog it, go be a scout.
Okay, so to be fair, okay, to your point, I will agree is that when people say that I have a good high IQ of football, or I see it this way, that sometimes certain people will be like, well, if you do, then why aren't I understand that's a narrative or a perception that people have in general. Not everybody, but enough that I've seen in the 3 years I've done this show. So what I have claimed on my show is I'm not an expert. I'm a fan. I'm here to give my fan perspective, take it or leave it for what it's worth, right? And so that's how I've always kind of moved in my circle. Now what I will say is, well, why, if somebody asks, well, why do you think that you're good enough for people to listen to your opinion? Because I've played and watched football since I was 7 years old or 8 years old. And so I think I've seen enough football to say what I think or not think. Now, is that a good enough reason for me to have a football show? I don't know, but I do, right? Is that a good enough reason for me to be a fan and give my perspective? I don't know, but I do, and other people do. So if that person said that and that's how they feel, that's their prerogative. You can't be mad at that.
No. You can't be mad at it, Stephen D. Nobody's being mad at it. All I'm saying is, when you, Stephen D, have more influence over the information that the fan base is getting, more so than, say, WQAM, 560 QAM, or whatever the flagship station of the Miami Dolphins are.
I sway Dolphin fans more than WQAM. Is that what you're trying to say, Big Nick?
No, when you say that, and when I see the influence that you're peddling is more substantial than what the information they're getting from Chris Greer, then I say, why the hell are we giving Stephen D all of this influence to peddle information and disregard the information that's coming from Chris Greer, Mike McDaniel. There was a play that Tyreek played that last touchdown when he had to look the opposite way. Tyreek in real time,
no more. Don't you do it.
In real time, Tyreek acknowledged that it was his mistake to turn the wrong way. It was in real time. He acknowledged that. And people are still coming on panels blaming QB1 for that throw. To me, that's crazy.
But you're always going to get those people, Big Nick. Like that's going to happen, right? But
those are the people coming on your show defending themselves and saying that people had to apologize for them and this whole mistake and this and that and the third. Come on, man.
I feel as though that to go back to a Big Nick, in my opinion, is about having empathy for somebody else. And if you can have empathy for somebody else, I think you can get far in life.
Absolutely.
To be fair, what Pamela said earlier in the chat, which I 100% agree with, is in order to get forgiveness, you have to ask for forgiveness. So that's why I retracted my statement about forgiveness and said what I should have been saying all morning is we need to have more empathy for others. And so that's all I was getting at this morning. Because
it's cool.
And the other thing is it's crazy to me that on a Dolphins YouTube channel, when they're 9-3 and number 1 in the AFC, we have to it needs to be addressed. In my opinion, it does.
I've been saying that since we were 3-0.
Some other people might not. There are definitely some people in the chat that are mad this conversation happened today. But to be fair, I did ask the entire chat what we should do, and 75% plus said let's debate this. So
there's people in our community, and I'll let you go after this. There's people in our community can't enjoy the 9-3 being in first place and number 1 seed in the AFC because that doesn't include drama. That doesn't include bullshit, so to speak, excuse my French, but it doesn't include negativity by us being number 1. Some people can only talk about how bad Tua is, how terrible the offensive line is. Some people can only talk about firing Chris Greer. Some people can only talk about not beating great teams in their own fan base instead of saying we're the number 1 seed, number 2 overall in the NFL after 14 weeks. Come on, man. We got to do better, DolFans. Stephen D, I mess with you. I love you, man. Good show. Be safe out there.
Be good, bro. Be good.
Fins up.
Fins up. Fins up. Fins up. Fins up. I want to bring on the next person who's been on here this morning. She's going to come back on. I just dropped the link again if y'all want to come up here. Miss Pam, you came back. You wanted to see me. You missed me that much?
I did. And what I really wanted to come back and do, I thought we were going to go towards the football side. So I really wanted to come back and talk Miami Dolphins football because you know what? We look good and we're getting better and better every week. We've had a complete game now where both sides of the ball has contributed. And I know you quoted what my comment was earlier. I wanted to tell you that you had to finish reading the whole sentence because you can ask for someone to forgive you. You can apologize. But if you intentionally continue to do the same thing, there's no more forgiveness for that. You have to, turn around, actually make changes, and maybe it doesn't happen right away. Maybe somebody slips up a little.
Let me say to that statement, there's some people's personalities that is who they are.
Oh,
right?
it's true.
And you either got to accept it or not accept it, right?
Yeah.
And
everybody has multiple sides to their personalities, right? So, and people can learn to be more kind and more empathetic. People can learn that. People can learn to not say everything that comes into their brain, right? So sometimes it's just about controlling your mouth. And if you say you can't control it, then you need to work on your fortitude, right? You need to work on yourself. But I just I I really am so excited about this Miami Dolphins team. The defense and what we have done and who we still have yet to see, and the people that we are getting back on the offense, I truly believe that there are things we have not seen yet that are coming down the pipe.
I think this is the best team that the Dolphins that I've seen for the Miami Dolphins. I mean, for me,
I know it's the best team you've seen.
Yeah, like so. I mean, look, the early '90s. In '93, I was all of 5 years old, right? So I don't remember the '93 team or the '92 team or anything like that. But I
Right.
know in the early '90s we had a pretty solid unit, right?
Mm-hmm.
We just couldn't get over the hump of the Bills, I think, is all that was for a couple of years. Like they always beat us in the playoffs, and that's why they went to 4 straight Super Bowls, right?
Right.
And I think we lost one to Pittsburgh that year or something like that. But what I'm saying is, for me, having Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill on the receiving side of things, seeing what Raheem Mostert is doing, and having the young Devon Achane, who's just flat out
bad to the bone,
future of the running game for this franchise, and seeing Tua be what I always thought he could be. I just didn't know.
My husband always said it.
I just didn't know if we could get it out of him, and I didn't know if there was somebody there to get. I remember that first and second year when Flores was still here, people asking, what do you think about Tua? And I said, look, what I honestly think why Flores was still here, as I said, he'll go to another team and be great. I remember saying that. I remember thinking that.
Yeah.
And they ended up getting Flores out, obviously, and McDaniel came in, and it's done wonders. And I like what Acho said on what's the show on Fox? Speak Up, whatever. He goes, why do we have to say that? Why do we have to put one down to build the other up, right? Tua is having the best year of his career with Tyreek. Tyreek is having the best year of his career with Tua. They make each other better.
Yes.
And I 100% believe that. And the other thing I'll say to it is this defense, I mean,
they're just getting started, Stephen.
I'm telling you.
They're just getting started.
I said at the beginning of the year in training camp, I said this team could easily have a top 10 offense and a top 10 defense. 100%.
I think we're above top 5 in both. I think the stats, especially for our defense in the beginning, that is, those stats are I mean, they're there, but this was a whole new scheme, a whole new coach, a whole new everything. So therefore, if we look at the last 5 games, I see. Well, so Stephen, I want to tell you this. I think that Miami Dolphins are the best team in the NFL. I think everybody better look out. Now, we have to execute, but what makes Tyreek better with Tua and Tua better Tyreek, when I look all the way through what's going on, it's the coaches. It's the coaches and what has been done with this organization, and we are that team. Got to execute, but I think we're that.
The biggest weaknesses we have on this team are on special teams. And
but even they're getting better, Stephen, right?
They are, right? I think when it's all said and done, come week 18, the Dolphins will have a top 5 offense and a top 5 defense, maybe even top 3 in both.
I'm going to say top 3. Yeah.
It's very possible we could end the year both top 3 in both categories.
Yeah.
Do I think Tua's going to get to 5? No, but he's definitely getting over 4. And the reason he's not getting over 5 is because I think we're utilizing the run game tremendously, and there's no reason for Tua to throw 300 plus yards because we got 2 people on the ground that's giving us 180 yards a game, or close to 200 yards a game. So that's kind of where I'm at with it, and I 100% Remember 3 weeks ago, I said Dolphins are going 5-0 in the next 5. I guarantee
That's
it.
what I'm I believe it.
I'm starting to feel like I ain't scared of Dallas. There's nothing about Dallas that scares me because I know we'll be the best defense Dallas has faced all year, in my opinion.
All year. And probably the best offense as well they've
100%,
faced.
100%, right? So I'm not scared of them. And I'm definitely, I gotta be real with you. The team that brings me the even the closest remote possibility of a scrum is Baltimore. And
yep. But even then,
we were down 28 points last year and came back and won that game. So, man, that's why I'm with it. For me.
And that was with brand new everything on our side, right? Like brand new everything. So I'm just saying that this team, we've got a coach in his second year. He hasn't had 2 years, it's his second year. We're in the middle of it. And I do believe that he is realizing what he's tried to put together. It's coming to fruition, right? Like we are seeing it. He pulled in his own coaches, the defensive coordinator, the offensive line coach. These people have made this team spectacular.
All right, Pamela. Let me bring on the next caller. I appreciate you coming on. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen.
Yep. Let me bring on Will. What up, Will? What up, big
What's up, Stephen? How we doing?
I'm doing great, man.
Happy Friday. Hello to everybody listening. Yo, I got a different avatar, but I've been up a few times. You probably recognize my voice. But this is definitely the best Dolphins team I've ever witnessed during my time as a fandom. I'm 36, so we're about the same age. I've come up a couple of times, and we've had conversations about all the horrible hardships over the years with the AJ Feelys and Tyler Thigpens and deplorable offensive lines, Cam Camerons, and like this is such a beautiful thing to see.
Yep.
After all that time, it's almost like surreal to watch this team play offense sometimes because I'm just so not used to seeing any kind of like.
Real quick, Will. By the way, Eric, I got your next, Eric. Just so you know, last night somebody said this on Twitter. I think it was Igor of Dolphins NYC. He said something to the fact that it's so excruciatingly painful to watch other NFL games because it is like the offenses and other NFL teams are just they're some of them are just straight bad. Just bad.
Oh, yeah, like the game last night. I mean, that was, besides.
That was painful to watch in the second half.
Oh, my God.
Painful.
Yeah. I mean, Zappy was out there throwing some darts in the first half, but, yeah, that quickly came apart in the second.
The over-under for last night's game was the lowest in the last 20-plus years in the NFL. It was 30.
I don't gamble anymore either. Was it under 40?
No, it was 30. It was
what?
30.
Oh my God! Wow, that's
low ever.
That's crazy.
Obviously, it hit the over.
Yeah.
And again, I haven't gambled since 2017. But man, let me tell you, boy, I wanted to bet that game so bad. I was like, oh, the over's gonna hit over.
Yeah, no, I've bet. I used to bet football. I mean, I've done it on and off since like 2009, and that's the lowest one I've ever heard of. I wanted to talk about the Dolphins real quick, but can I briefly bring up the Sean McDermott thing and what a weird guy he is? Yo, like
it is 100% weird. 100%.
Yo, like you're giving your team like a rousing locker room speech, and you're talking about how you got to use teamwork and come together to accomplish your goal. And the comparison you use is the 9/11 hijackers. Like, and bro, you're coaching a New York team. Like, it's just a strange. Like, why would you think to do that? Like, why?
I told you all this when Leslie Frazier left the team. I said, there's something going on in the locker room. And everybody said, Nah, Leslie got fired because he couldn't be with this coaching staff. And I've been very adamant. I'm like, nah, Leslie knew what was about to go down. And he's like, I don't want no parts of being here when it implodes. That's why Ken Dorsey got fired. That's why you see Trayvon Diggs tweeting anytime Stephon plays, talking about Stephon's going to look good in a different uniform next year, because it is a complete dumpster fire in Buffalo right now. And I'll tell you, I don't know if Sean McDermott's the coach there next year. I don't.
Bro, I mean, if I'm the NFL, I mean, isn't that just an embarrassing thing that you don't want to be a part of? I mean,
it's not egregious to get him fired, but if I'm ownership or GM and Buffalo, I'm like, see you later, McDermott. Be gone.
Yeah, it's just one of the strangest stories I've heard of in a long time. And like, real quick, I was able to make a little Instagram reel out of it that I thought was pretty funny. You mind if I take 2 seconds to plug it?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm right. So I'm an unpublished writer, so I'm trying to write a book, and I am a very good writer. But it's called "This Is Not Normal," and it's just about the kind of strange culture that we live in. And yesterday I was able to parlay that into a reel about the Sean McDermott situation that I think is pretty funny. If you want to check it out, it's "This Is Not Normal" book on Instagram. Pretty funny reel about that situation. So that's it. But yeah, he's a weird guy. Just wanted to talk about that. And yeah, dude, like, I think that last thing I'll say about the Finns, and then I'll jump. Going forward, I think we've proven that we can win games in a lot of different ways, whether it's defensively or high scoring. And we've become a lot more hard-nosed as far as in the trenches and defensively. So I think that's going to definitely help us against, Buffalo and Baltimore down the stretch. And then going forward in the playoffs. We got to prove it, but I got faith. So that's it. Thanks a lot, Steven.
All right, Will. Be good, brother.
Bye.
My man. What's it up like up there in enemy territory? Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me at all.
Hello?
Go out and come back in. Go out and come back in. Go out and come back in. I'm going to wait for my man Eric in the building. What's up, buddy?
Hey, there we go.
What is it like in enemy territory up there? Are they ready to, do they have pitchforks out for Belichick?
No, but at the barbershop, I've never seen a team so mad over a win.
Is it? Look, you've been a Dolphins fan in New England for years. What is it like right now that they're in last place and you're just straight repping the Dolphins everywhere you go? Like, what is it like up there right now?
It's actually quiet for me because they have nothing to say.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you get, oh, Dolphins fan, huh? And they're waiting to throw it in your face that they
can't do it this year,
leading the division or whatnot. But now they're in full blown draft mode already. They could care less. They wanna.
Last night's game was brutal.
I watched the first half. I watched a little bit of the third quarter, and then I was like in and out, falling asleep on the couch. I woke up.
By the way, don't you like Pittsburgh? Right, Pittsburgh is 7-4 coming into Sunday. And their next 2 games were against 2-10 teams, and they drop both of them. They lose both of them to 2-10 teams, the Cardinals and the Patriots.
First time ever that a team with a winning record lost to 2 sub-500 teams that didn't score the week before. I think the record, the stat I saw last night was.
I don't know what it was, but I just know. I love seeing. Hey, does Belichick coach there next year? You think? Does he stay?
No.
Interesting.
I've never seen a fan base turn on a coach that
so quickly. They want nothing to do with him. Nothing. It's amazing. What'd you come on to talk about today?
Just called in to say happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Happy holidays to you. I saw Dave Fazina.
I heard. Dave and I are flying out Monday morning.
You going to the Monday night game?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I can't. My wife doesn't come back from Cuba till Tuesday, so I can't go. So upset.
Gotcha.
Because I had a ticket and live if I could have went. I was so upset.
I will be sitting in the deep end. Dave's sitting in our seats. I'll be sitting in the deep end.
Deep end's gonna be fire for Monday Night Football.
Tailgating at East 32 with Mr.
Everybody's going to be at East 32. If you guys want to go party, go to East 32. Go to tailgreeter.com. Type in East 32 Dolphins Tailgate. That's where the party's going to be Monday night. It's going to be fire.
Like I was talking to him the other day, and he said mac and cheese, Nashville hot chicken, and maybe steak and cheese on the menu, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's not going to be as great as our party was at FedEx. No, I'm just playing. I remotely just want to get as good as Cameron, just even close. I'll be good.
Pretty good.
FedEx was crazy though.
The lines were a little long, but you can expect that with a ton of fans, which is always a good thing. I'd rather have a long line because there's more fans than no line because no one's there.
Yeah, definitely.
Very good things about your tailgate there, Mr. Steven.
It was. I'm telling you, it's worth every penny. Baltimore is going to be crazy. By the way, I got Baltimore tickets available. 16 rows from the field. I think I have like 15 available for purchase.
Well, text me on the side because I'm going to a football game next week, but it's not Miami.
Baltimore, baby.
I am going to.
You can get real cheap tickets from New England, from Boston to Baltimore.
I am going to Pat's Chiefs next week.
Pat's Chiefs?
Yeah. I'm going to go be a Patriots fan.
Rocking all your Dolphins gear, rooting for Whack Jones. My daughter this morning goes to me, she goes, and I'm going to bring Batman up here next real quick. She goes, Dad, do we root for the Patriots because they're bad and it helps the other? And I was like,
nah.
I said, we're not rooting for them, but like it helps us if they win, but I will never, ever root for them. You'll never see me root for them.
I kind of wanted the Steelers to win.
Me too. I did too, and I know it didn't help us. And I was like, I hope Pittsburgh comes back.
It would have made it tougher for Buffalo if the Steelers had won.
Yeah, that's true.
But I'm always down to see the Pats screw up in some way. So
it's so fun. It's so fun. All right, brother.
Text me on the side about that. Text me on the side about that Baltimore.
Tell Jackson I said hello.
He's in school, but I will when he gets out.
All right. I love you, brother. Be good.
All right, buddy. Merry Christmas.
Batman. Batman. Get off mute, Batman. You're on mute.
What's up, Steven? Can you hear me?
What's up, homie? What's up, my guy?
What's going on, Steven, man? We missed you.
I know, man. I know. I've been, it's crazy putting on these tailgates, bro. It's something else. Something else.
I heard you guys had a blast. I wish I was there, man. We almost bought tickets last minute, but those ticket prices were going up for the plane ticket, so we couldn't go. Couldn't make it. But I just wanted to. Oh, I wish. But it's December, so it's already Christmas time here at work. So it's
crazy
it's
for
rough.
you being the mailman.
Double everything. But I wanted to touch on the subject because, like, I look, I got a lot of friends in the community, right? And I got brothers, Lewis is my homie, he's my brother. But, I at the end of the day, like an individual, because I myself I've been in a situation in the past, right?
Yep.
And you were aware of all that, and at the end of the day, humans make mistakes, right? And I think, bringing stuff up from the past, again, I don't want to get involved in that situation because I don't know too much. I don't even know anything about it. I was sent some screenshots, and again, look, I think Jason's good people. He's never done me any harm. He's never said anything negative about me that I've been aware of. And we communicate, at least, a couple times during the week. Met him in person multiple times, at least over 10 times. He's a great guy and he has great football knowledge. And I'm a big fan of Jason. Now, that being said, I know that things have happened mostly as from the stuff I've heard. It's happened outside of the spaces that I run throughout the day. This is stuff that happens in other nighttime or afternoon spaces, or even when I'm off, my day off. So I obviously, he's been made aware of it. He knows about it. For the most part, I think he tried to apologize. That's what he was intending to do initially. And again, I'm not a fan of the whole boycotting somebody out of the fan base. I don't like that. I could understand that, like Lewis said, he's going through stuff. You never know if Lewis is going through stuff. Everybody's going through things. We just have to be mindful, right? We have to be mindful as individuals. Like, we all crack fun in games. We all joke with each other. And that's the thing. Like, I think look, everybody knows I love to joke around, right, Steven? I crack jokes. Today's the official Brian Flores Day. That's the topic on my mind. We're talking about Brian Flores today. So we all like to joke around. We all like to have a good fun. And at the end of the day, some individuals, if they're not preview to the fun of how you move around on a daily and interact with people on a daily that you interact with, I can see how sometimes people can take that, and say, hey, and then they could lash out. You get what I mean? Like, perfect example, let's say me and you, Steven, on a daily, we joke around a certain way. We talk about chicken bacon, right? And we're talking and we cracking jokes, and somebody might feel offended by that, and they might say something. You know what I mean? Because they're not aware of how we joke around, and that's the thing. Like, I think we all have to have a better understanding of each other, and I think with time that happens, and time heals all wounds and heals all situations. And like I said, like, for the most part,
time should heal all wounds, although it doesn't sometimes. And
as much as, like, yeah, of course, it's not always. It doesn't always happen. It doesn't always happen. Nobody's perfect.
It's funny because we teach our kids that. We teach our kids that, and we can't do it.
And again, like, I joke around, I call people out, and I listen. We all like to have good fun sometimes. We just got to know who we could joke around with. That's the best thing. That's the best advice I could have for people, because some people don't like to joke around like that, and then that's why you just distance yourself from them and you don't bring up certain topics, right? And again, like, I love his takes. I love everybody's takes. I love when people come to the table with anything, especially if it's going to be funny and it's going to lighten the mood and it's going to swing a joke. I'm all for it. I love it. I wish we could all do better, including myself. You know what I mean?
I'm with you, man.
I think you hit it on the money. I was behind for like about 20 minutes. I fast forward a little bit, but I was behind when you started. You were talking about, like, even the individuals that are not saying anything, those are at fault as well. So I agree.
If you're privy to it or you witness it, like, in order to make this a better community, when we see it, we got to put a stop to it, bro. We got to. Even it doesn't matter who's in the right or who's in the wrong. It's just like, what we're not going to do is gang up on one person, and what we're not going to do is get personal. Like, we just got to stop that. We just got to stop it.
And like I said, we all, even myself, I take blame for that, because I do it all the time.
It's tough, right? It's tough because, to EM's point, man, like, running this show, it's tough to monitor the chat, and I gotta and so that's where accountability comes into, right? Like, we're all grown adults here. Let's have some accountability. Let's put a stop to, if we see something, we need to put a stop to it. Hey, Steven's doing his thing. Who here is going to step? There's 100 people in the room. It's not just on me to kind of put a kibosh to that. And maybe sometimes we're just going to, kick some people out of the chat for a little bit just to have it die down or whatever it is, or vice versa, with Wildin' Out Wednesdays, right? The timeouts and the bands. We do that for fun. That's what it's there for. But there are times where the timeout of the band has served for people that just are like, I can't take that dude yelling anymore, right? And I get that, and I understand that. And so
it's hard, Steven, because look, I haven't done a show in a long time, but when you do a show, when I do a show, I don't have the multiple of people watching at the same time that you are. You have a lot of people watching, so it's difficult for you to be able to run a show, run the topics you want to run, take control of the panel while you're up here.
I do not
text
run
messages.
I do not run the show the way I want to.
But think about it. Text messages. Think about all the stuff you have to worry about while you're doing a live show. Text messages. Things that you have to worry about in your home, calls from important people, people in chat. You have to address topics that you outlined that you want to talk about. There's a lot of things, and again, maybe some advice. Maybe I think it could work. Maybe you could try it. Just keep an eye on some of the regulars that you usually have on the channel, right? That they're respectful. And you have people in this community that can basically that they can help with that. You know what I mean? That's their job. Accountability in chat, timing people out.
Funny. If you're a member of my channel, you get a wrench, right? And I've thought about taking that away and just giving it to certain people that are there all the time. But it's but and Manalo, you're right. He said, Steven, you frankly give oxygen to narrative pushers on the panel. But my show or my objective is for people to allow themselves to push whatever they feel. This is a show that is made for the fans by the fan. My goal is to not just for me to talk and give you if you want to go get some really good advice, go watch Reason, go watch TD, go watch Doug. They have I would say out of most of the platforms, not all, I'm one that continuously has people on the platform, and I want people to get there. What is your opinion? And I'll tell you, the reason I started the show 3 years ago was because I worked in radio before, and I hated that a caller would get 3 sentences in and then get hung up on. It bothered me to no end. So I was like, man, if I ever have a show, they're going to be on as long as they want to, and I've had to kind of die that down a little bit to a certain extent, but you get people get to say what they want, and they get to rebuttal, and they get to I don't know another show that does it that way. That well.
That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty. That's the beauty. And again, it's not about picking sides. It's about hearing people out. I could understand that every once in a while we joke around, we crack jokes, and we just got to be mindful who we crack jokes with. Not everybody reacts the same. Not everybody takes it the same way that we all do on a daily basis. But at the end of the day, man, I got respect for everybody in this community, including the people that hate me. I got love for everybody, man. Fins up. And Steven, good luck. If anything happens with what you mentioned this morning, I wish you the best. You're amazing at what you do.
We're gonna see. I'm talking to some people right now. We're gonna see. We'll see what happens.
You got it in you, man. You got it in you, man. So fins up, everybody. Let's get this victory on Monday. And everybody stay blessed. Have a blessed weekend.
Stay up. I feel blessed. All right, brother. Be good. Next up, he runs a channel. He knows what I go through on a day in, day out basis. El Capitan. What up, baby?
So,
how are
you?
The
feelings hour, huh?
Hey, man, look, sometimes you got to do it, baby. It's Spread Kindness Friday.
Yes. So, I got some advice for everybody who's on the internet, who's on YouTube, Twitter, Space, wherever. Leave your feelings to your family. Stop taking yourself so seriously. Stop taking the people around you so seriously. Enjoy the interaction and then move on with your day. Sometimes we get our foot in our mouth. People are going to make fun of you. Don't get in your feelings about it. Don't get a certain type of way. I don't like the cancel culture. But I do understand there is an accountability amongst our fan base. What we don't need is people who we allow in our circles. And there's a lot of circles, but it's all under one umbrella, and that's the Dolphins, that are going to be downright mean, evil people that do stuff that takes the internet into the real world. Yeah. We know of the situations. There's people that track people's personal Facebook accounts down and DM them and threaten, go after people's children or family and wives or husbands. That stuff is dirty. And that can be called out and should be excommunicado. You deserve to get shunned by the bunch of us. But I don't think that person is unforgivable. People can change. They can work on themselves. There's personal growth. And if someone can change and better themselves and work their way back in, that's great too. They'll be on a short leash. But I'm just tired of, listen, I like to have fun like the rest of us. We like to get crazy. We all love these Dolphins. And in today's day and age, Steven, you started 3 years ago. I started 2 years ago. There wasn't a lot of Dolphins content. The Dolphins weren't in the spotlight. Now at 9-3, best team in the AFC, we're at the forefront of all of everything in the NFL right now. And there's a lot more people. It's a lot more going on. So there's only so much content you're going to necessarily need to absorb to get just solid facts and information. Everything else is speculation or source information that is just another purview of speculation. Again, it's about community. It's about people. I've made a lot of really great friends doing this. Great friends, people that I'm excited to see when I go to the game, people that have my personal information, and that's a good byproduct. But there's also the other end.
I hate you, El Capitan. I never
know.
want
Fuck
to come
you,
on my
show.
show.
Sorry, I'm not supposed to. You know what, Steven? You go to hell.
You go to hell. Hate you. Go ahead, finish. I'm sorry.
But it's just a weird thing. I feel like people are taking themselves too seriously. They're taking it just too. There's this makeshift hierarchy of who's in what pecking order and who should be allowed to speak and who's going to be treated with certain types of respects.
You've been to the tailgate when I'm there and I'm hosting. I have
absolutely. I've hosted your show at the tailgate.
I've had the Fins Talk Network. I've had Miami Talk Network. I've had the Fins Tailgate channel. I've had the ladies 305 Sports Babe, Miss Fins host. I've had other people from other platforms come on and host. I want everybody, because my goal is that maybe them being on my show gets them an opportunity to get a new person to watch them, or vice versa. If they're on the show and hey, go check out Steven, go check out Miami Sports Music right now, YouTube channel. I'm up there live for the next 20 minutes, that they're going to tune in for the first time on my channel. Right. So, but ultimately I don't think that I'm ego driven. I don't think I am. And because I want everybody to win. I want everybody to be I want everybody to win.
Ego isn't a bad thing.
Yeah.
And I remember a couple of years ago, they were like, kill your ego, destroy your ego. And it was like a thing all the athletes were saying. I'm like, no, don't destroy your ego. Okay. That's a terrible place to be, because then you're in sadness. It can be used. It's like anything in the world. Too much of anything is a bad thing.
Yeah.
Too much of anything is a bad thing. And then there's some stuff that are just bad all the way around, as you know what I'm talking about. But, it's not a bad thing when you say you're a new person in the community and you're getting a lot of shine. A lot of people are recognizing you. The other networks, your new channel, everyone's agreeing. It does this thing to people. And I've explained it to my guys when they start doing it with me. I said, be careful, because it will feed the most darkest parts of your ego, and you'll get a sense, you'll lose yourself. And it happens again and again, and people forget who and what they really are. And it's something to do with the internet, because I'm sorry, everybody, but this is no different than any other drug that, you feed yourself, it'll twist and turn you in a bad way if you're not careful. And I think people just have to have a little bit more personal perspective of themselves to keep themselves in check. And then if you can't, that's where the community comes in. And you should have at least, I mean, look, I got a very large group of people that if they came to me in any personal way and told me something about myself, I'm going to check my ego at the door and hear what they got to say and take their advice.
You and I have had phone calls about that, like about people that have been on our networks and getting that resolved. And you and I have, like, if anybody can relate to what I've gone through or what I go through, it's probably you, more so than anybody else.
I carry a ragtag of team, bro. I got a ragtag of people around me, and so I get brought stuff to my doorstep on personal phone calls and things like that for all different reasons. And I play mediator, and other times I tell people, listen, y'all are taking this way too seriously. And eventually the dust always settles, and the 2 people in question or 4 people in question or whatever the disconnect and lack of communication was ends up moving on. And again, we're adults. I get we act like children a lot, especially playing around in this game. It's a lot of childish games. So people end up getting caught in childish feelings. But if we're talking about real world and real life, I mean, are you the type of person that gets happy about bringing someone pain? Because if that's the case, you're a sick person. You know what I'm saying? If you're enjoying someone else's suffering, you have a mental problem. You're a sick person. Now, if there's someone who's a toxic person and that's all they're doing and they bring nothing to the conversation other than, just trying to muscle over people and talk over everything, and there's a lot of that happens. And I think, maybe that's not who they are, but that's who they're becoming. And again, you got to have people around you that let you know about yourself that you're gonna listen to. And if you don't, then I'm sorry for you, because it sounds like you don't have a lot of real friends. And I'm telling people who are listening, feel like they're in that category in any way that I've just spoke about, accept a little bit more honest people in your life and listen to their advice and just try to grow. Because if you're not growing, you're dying. And nobody wants to, get stagnant and not grow and all that stuff. It's weird, man. It's a weird thing that all this internet does to people. It really does. Because I feel like face to face,
we would never, like, the keyboard warrior mentality would never happen with people face to face. It just wouldn't, And it's funny because
it doesn't. No. And some of the things people have said to me,
they would never say them at a tailgate. It's never happened. Not one time.
No.
Ever.
No. Nope. All this tough talk don't show up at the games, that's for sure.
Although I'll whoop your ass at the tailgate, El Capitan.
I don't know, Steven. I'm swole, dog. I got them hands.
I'll sit on you.
He's a big guy. I got that endurance though, dog. I got endurance.
But I got weight. What you want?
That's true. You get a hold. I just can't let you get a hold of me. That's all. I just can't let you get a hold of me. I just can't let you get a hold of me, damn it.
I got weight, my guy. I
don't want to get a hold of me and put me up against the wall. I'm in trouble.
Hey, man.
But listen, I fight dirty, and I usually carry a knife. Just saying.
That's the only way to fight is dirty.
That's it, bro. Ain't no rules in the streets.
What you got going on over at your platform, man?
I have the day off. Had a job interview today. I feel like it went well. Gonna be probably jumping ship at where I'm at and making some more money somewhere else. So I'm gonna probably fire something up here in the next hour or so.
That sounds like a plan. It's 12. My kids come home at like 3, and I think we're gonna go out to dinner tonight and a movie. I think I'm gonna take them out. That's what I want to do.
That's good.
Spend some time
I've got a dinner tonight too for my son with his football team. They get their Eastern Conference Championship rings tonight. They get rings now in Pop Warner.
Hey, real quick, side note, my boy LeBron James, boy, he about to get that title, about to get that in-season title. What? My man dropped 30 points in 36 minutes last night.
That's crazy.
Dude, he is. I understand. I get it. My man is older than every single person in the league. There's no reason that man should drop 30 points in a game. None. Absolutely none. He should be deteriorating. He's not. He is Superman.
Now, if I had the kind of funds he had, I wouldn't deteriorate either.
Hey, bro, you're not lying, man. You're not lying.
He's probably hooked up to some machine every night, measuring his blood,
whatever,
his
Andres.
levels.
Y'all can talk about my boy LeBron all you want. He gonna get that. He gonna get that. It was funny because this morning I saw somebody on IG or TikTok talking about, man, if anybody else wins this in-season tournament, it's legit. If LeBron does, I'm not gonna call it. And it's like the typical LeBron hater, right? He's like, if LeBron wins it, it's a sham. If anybody else wins it, I'll call it legit. And I was like, he's like, and he goes on to say, because LeBron people will add this to his resume, because it is part of his resume.
Yeah, that's dumb. Listen, I'm no LeBron in the ear, but
I am.
Listen, your accolades are your own. So if they're not going to give him credit for something,
leading scorer, top 3 in he'll lead in assists by the time he leaves the league, and he's got multiple championships. He's got multiple MVPs. He is the GOAT. He's the GOAT. I don't care what anybody says.
I would disagree. I would say
because when Jordan was playing for the Wizards, he was averaging 18 points a game. My man out here, still averaging 30 on these boys.
The Jordan on the Wizards is the weirdest thing, and I don't like that people use it.
I'm $5 donation. Thank you, Pete.
I would say
Ron trash. No, he's not, Q.
I would say the GOAT of all sports is Brady. So
no.
Yep. Sorry. Nope. I hate to say it, but it's the truth.
No. He's not.
It's the truth.
He's not. He's not at all. I
don't know. It's hard to say.
I love when I get a text message saying "yo" and nothing else.
Yo.
Number. So I'm like, who is this?
Well, that's nobody. It's probably a scammer.
And so now I'm gonna have to be like, oh, I lost your number. In fact, I know who it is. Oh, all right. Anyways, dude, I love you. I miss you.
Love you too, buddy. Yeah.
Keep doing your thing.
I will.
What else? What else am I forgetting? Am I forgetting anything else?
I don't know. Just stay out of your feelings. That's all I'll say.
I'm not in my feelings.
Yeah, you are, Steven. You're hosting a feelings hour.
Just don't kill my vibe. Just don't kill my vibe.
Man.
Hey, man. Don't take yourself too seriously.
I've never taken myself too seriously because, I don't take anything seriously because it's all for naught. Be dead one day and it all ain't going to matter anyhow.
You got that right. 100%.
That's it, man. That's it. All right, brother.
I love you. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do.
Oh, I can do anything now.
Peace and hair grease.
All right, brother. Later.
What up? Spread Kindness Friday. That was fun. I enjoyed that. It was a good show today. Good show. Some of you might not agree, but I thought it was. I thought it was really good. Lewis, get up here, Lewis. I want you to be the final person, Lewis. Lewis is the final person. I want Lewis to be the final person today. Hit you up in a few. Wrapping up my show. Okay. I love how I have to text people during. Okay. Are you coming up here, Lewis? Lewis. Here. Hold on. Where's it at? Attention, Lewis, to the panel, please. Lewis to the panel. Lewis, get your butt up here now. Get your horrible beard up here now. Lewis, do you hear me? Lewis to the principal's office. Lewis to the principal's office. Okay. Andres, how many rings does LeBron have compared to MJ? See, that's the only thing y'all got. That is your only argument, are the rings. Only argument. Nothing else. Nothing else. Lewis, what are you doing? Dude, I got everybody talking to me about Baltimore. I got everybody talking to me. By the way, if you want to go to Baltimore, go to tailgreeter.com, type in Baltimore Beatdown. It's going to be a party. It's going to be good. Okay? All right. Here we go. You got to get on camera, too. Got to get on camera. I got to see
Steven, I'm super busy, Steven.
No. What do you mean you're super busy? You don't have time for me, but you got time for Twitter or X or whatever it is you kids want to call it nowadays?
I'm not even over there neither. I'm here.
Lewis, I need to have a final thought from you today, and I need some words of wisdom.
I think today was needed. I always love these shows. The fact of the matter is people have to hear, people have to talk. We're always talking about preaching change, and change can't be behind closed doors. I get some conversation, certain things would have to be backstage. I get that as well. But nah, bro, like if we're going to be preaching change and talking about, we have to be nice. How can three people in a phone call backstage can't change that, right? You only get change when you do it out, put things on Front Street. And I think today was a good show. Listen, people could be in the chat. I was watching the chat. Oh, talk football, talk this. But when we were having those conversations, there was 131 people in the room. Right?
We had 100. I think we got to 150 today at one point.
So like the people can say what they want, but people like controversy too. So it is what it is. Listen, final thought is we're 9-3. We're the number 1 seed in the AFC.
We 9-3, cuz. We out here.
This is basically a bye week against the Tennessee Titans.
Basically.
It is what it is. So,
hey, I'm about to watch football all day. I'm a Red Zone channel on lock for 8.5 hours on Sunday.
Ooh, I'm not watching no football Sunday. I still got stuff. Listen, I'm still putting up Christmas lights. I got a new puppy now at the house for the kids.
You really? What type of dog you get? What type of dog?
Little French bulldog.
Little French bulldog. Oh, he probably cute too, man. You gotta take a picture of it and post that.
I will.
You gotta post that. All right. Hey, you're on mute, but I want you to do one more thing.
What?
Stay
what? Go ahead and say it, Steven.
Cuban?
Yeah.
Dominican?
Yeah. No, not Cuban. I'm not Dominican. We know that.
Cuba. Tamika's in Cuba right now.
I know. I heard that, man. What's she doing up there?
Officially, she is bringing school supplies to children. And by school supplies, I mean she's got a few backpacks with some school Supplies in it. And that's what she's officially doing there. Unofficially, they out there living their best life. Okay,
it's a good time. Have you ever been?
It's a girls' trip. No, I'm a little jealous. She's been sending me photos. I'm a little jealous.
Steven, the island is beautiful out there, Steven.
Her bungalow or whatever is literally on the water, and they have a pool that is sitting on the water.
Yeah.
Like
it gets down over there.
I mean, look, I've always wanted to go.
For the low, right? For the low?
When she told me what she paid, it's like me going to like Baltimore on a 2-way, like round trip Baltimore Southwest flight. It was so cheap. I could not believe what she spent. It was well, again, it's a girls trip, so they got like an Airbnb. So like, I mean, she practically, I mean, literally just paid for her flight, and that's almost about it. And then they have, and because the prices are so cheap, they have a cook who lives there, I guess. And so they got all of their meals included in their Airbnb.
Well, we should take a guy trip up there, Steven, so I can show you guys the road.
Bruh.
You know,
You already, I mean, first of all, you already know. What's the strip club scene like there?
You don't need no strip club.
Oh, okay.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now. You get off the airplane, and a guy like you have the girl. You hear him when you're coming.
And look,
off the plane,
my wife could be listening now. Calm down. All right.
Yeah, you're not gonna incriminate me. It's a great place over there. It's wonderful people.
The scenery is magical, is what you're saying.
It's beautiful over there.
It's beautiful.
I love everything about it.
I want to ride the cars, the old school cars. Like that's what I want to do. I want to like rent that. Dude, man, those are freaking classic cars, bro. Classic. By the way, yeah, my wife has been there for like a week, and I've talked to her twice because the Wi-Fi there is horrible. Horrible.
It is. What's a third world country, man? It is what it is. But it's nice. That's the motherland. I love that place over there.
When's the last time you
went? About 5 years ago, maybe.
Really? So you don't get to go back there often either. It's so weird. Hey, by the way, just so everybody knows, let me post this. This is for the people that are going to the game on Monday. The Dolphins just posted this. I think this is important for the people that are going to the game on Monday. Are you going to the game?
I got tickets, man, but we'll see what the job.
Parking opens at 4. Stadium gates open at 6. There's going to be a drone presentation at 7. And then the game, there'll be a light show at 8, and kickoff is at 8:15. So the parking gates will open 4 hours before, at 4 o'clock. They usually open at 3. I'm surprised.
I know. It's crazy.
But I know that's important for some of y'all that are going to the game.
I heard you were supposed to be there.
Dude, so Tamika went. I didn't realize it was as long as it was. She's there for like 7 or 8 days. Maybe a little bit longer than that. But I had a ticket to Club Live. I've never done Club Live. I've done Club Live once. I did it once. And I had to sneak my way into it. But I had a ticket to Live. Like I was gonna get the band and everything. And for a Monday night game, that was about to be the vibe, bro. Like that is probably the best ticket that you can get for a night game is Club Live. Inside the stadium.
Man, even a 1 o'clock game. Shout out to Batman and shout out to Vince. They got me in Club Live the last time I just went to the game for the Giants.
Halftime is nuts in there. Nuts.
Halftime, Steven, most of the people in there ain't even watching the game.
They sure is not. It's a real
vibe.
club inside the stadium, and it's dope as hell. It's dope as hell. But I had a ticket, and my wife doesn't come back till Tuesday. So, and I couldn't get a babysitter to like stay overnight. I'm not, and no family can watch at the moment. So I'm a little hurt because I wanted to go to that. I was going to fly down Monday and fly back Tuesday. I was like, I just need a place to crash for like 6 hours after the game so I can get to the airport after that. That's it. That's all I need. But man, it's nothing. I can't even go. I'm upset about it. Upset. I wish I could.
I got to make this money.
Hey, stay Cuban. Love you, brother.
Hey, in the honor of Dade County, stay black.
Stay black. Bro.
Later.
Oh, I love you guys. You guys are the best fans in the world. Where's that? I really do think y'all are the best. That is no lie. If you guys enjoyed today's show, donate to the channel, help the channel grow, hit the like button. Where are we at? Let me get the music started. Hope you all enjoyed today. Be good. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do. Spread kindness, positivity, and love. That's what today's all about. It's what Mondays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays and Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays need to be all about too. Hope y'all enjoyed the show. I missed y'all. It was a good show. Hit me up. I hope to see y'all in Baltimore. It's going to be a good time in B-more. Baltimore beatdown. For those of you who went last year, it was a vibe. It's going to be a vibe again. Okay? Hit me up. I love y'all. Peace.
My intuition told me this. To trust the coach, he holds a gift. He knowing when to go with fit. So we knowing when to switch. This year we got the golden pick. Time to see what that pick about. Bad vibes get sent out. Only fans up in this house. We been waiting, yeah, we been patient. Now